Chapter 131. After returning to his cottage, he took out his notebook and recorded the condition of the patient he had seen in Tao. This was a very rare disease. How should I treat this disease? After recording the cause of the disease, Wang Yao began to think about how to treat the disease. Imbalance of yin and yang was very common and easy to treat. However, the imbalance was so serious that it was incurable. It would be very troublesome to treat it. I still need to take some medicine first. The medicine should be cool to neutralize the excess yang. Ordinary medicinal herbs would definitely not work. Since they would not be effective, they would have to start with spiritual herbs. With a thought, an ancient book appeared in his hand. It was the catalog of spiritual herbs. In fact, he had already memorized most of the spiritual herbs in this book. It was just that flipping through the pages made it easier for him to remember them better. He read through the two ancient books carefully and found a few spiritual herbs that met his requirements. However, in his current situation, he could only obtain two kinds of spiritual herbs. Moonlight grass nourishes yin and calms nerves. Frost grass hibernates in summer and grows in winter. It clears away heat and removes yang toxins. The former was milder, while the latter was more intense. He had planted both of them. Some of the moonlight grass was stored in the storage compartment of the system. However, the frost grass had stopped growing since the weather became warmer. Even if he watered it with the ancient spring water, it had no effect at all. The more he thought about it, the more he thought about it. It was not until it was dark outside that he remembered that he had to go down the mountain for dinner. He sorted out his thoughts and recorded them down. Then, he put the notebook away and went down the mountain for dinner. During dinner, his mother mentioned Tong Wei again, and his father chimed in as well. "Mom, it's not urgent. It's not urgent. Do you understand that things might change if we delay?" Zhang Xiaoying said in a genteel way, which was rare for her. "How about this? When she comes back, I'll invite her to our house. As for whether she agrees or not, it's hard to say. It's settled. Keep in touch with her when you're free." Okay. After Wang Yao expressed his opinion, the matter finally came to an end. Hearing that Wang Yao was back, Zhou Xiong took his son to Nanshan Hill the next day. After checking on Zhou Wukong's condition, he found that Zhou Wukong's condition had improved a lot. It was probably because of the regather soup that he brewed. Zhou Wukong's spirit was also better than the last time he came to the mountain. "It's much better than last time. Shall we continue where we left off?" "All right." This time, Zhou Xiong focused on teaching him the techniques of Tai Chi. He had been practicing martial arts for decades and had his own experiences. He could understand some of the small things with just a little bit. However, if he didn't teach him and relied on himself to practice and comprehend, he didn't know how long it would take. Zhou Xiong talked about Tai Chi, but there were also other boxing techniques in it. In this aspect, Zhou Xiong didn't hide anything. He taught everything he knew to Wang Yao. In fact, what he did was not in line with the rules. Martial arts were not easily taught, especially the profound meaning. It was already the so-called lost art. It was not allowed to be taught to outsiders. Wang Yao's talent once again shocked Zhou Xiong. He could understand it with just a little bit and comprehend it by analogy. If there was a so-called genius, then the young man in front of him was a genius. His medical skills were excellent, and he was also so talented in martial arts. God loved him. "Don't leave at noon. Stay here for a meal. I've already told my family." Zhou Xiong still refused, but Wang Yao forced him to stay. Wang Yao's family was very hospitable. They especially liked Kong, who was a sensible child. Zhang Xiaoying specially prepared a table full of dishes. "This is enough. Don't cook anymore." Zhou Xiong said this more than once. This meal, whether it was Wang Yao's family or Zhou Xiong and his son, all of them were very happy. After the meal, Zhou Xiong and his son were not in a hurry to go back. They followed Wang Yao to Nanshan Hill. When they arrived at Nanshan Hill, Zhou Wukong was a little out of breath. It seemed that he was exhausted. "Go into the cottage and have a rest." Wang Yao went into the cottage and poured a glass of water for him. "Let Khan take a rest first. Shall we continue?" "Okay." In the afternoon, Zhou Xiong continued the content in the morning. He continued to teach Wang Yao the skills of boxing, including the force exertion and the skills. Time passed quickly. Soon, the sky was dark. After drinking a few cups of tea, Zhou Xiong left with his son. The next day, Tian Yuantu came to Nanshan Hill and told Wang Yao that he had found someone who was proficient in handmade tea. If you have time, let's go and have a look. Okay, Wang Yao replied. If you have time, we can go now. The two of them went down the hill and drove. Under the guidance of Tian Yuantu, they came to a house near the river. They saw Master Su, a man in his 50s. He was a medium build and slightly thin. Master Su, I'm sorry to trouble you, Tian Yuantu said with a smile. Please come in, the man said with a smile. Obviously, he had known Tian Yuantu for a long time. After they entered the house and sat down, the old man made a pot of green tea for them. Do you want to learn how to cook tea? The man asked Wang Yao with a smile. Yes. Do you want to do this? No, I just want to learn, Wang Yao said. Hobby? Kinda. Then let's talk about it, the man said with a smile. Let's go to the tea garden first. The old man took a basket and led Wang Yao and Tian Yuantu to the tea garden next to the village. There were many people planting tea there. Looking from afar, there was a large tea garden full of tea trees. There were already people busy in the tea garden. At this time, you can pick the first tea. You can pick the first tea by folding it, not pinching it. You can't use your fingernails. There are one bud, one leaf, or one bud, two leaves. Try it. The old man taught Wang Yao in the tea garden. Picking tea looked simple, but after a while, most people couldn't stand it. Their fingers and arms were sore. Wang Yao followed the old man to learn how to pick tea. As the old man walked, he said which buds were good and which could wait for another 2 days. After picking some tea leaves, they returned to the old man's house. The next step was to cook tea. The old man used a big iron pot and a firewood stove, the most traditional kind. After preparing the tools, the old man began to wash the pot and make a fire. There were several steps to cooking tea. This time it's called finishing. The fire should be bigger. Master Su poured the freshly picked tea leaves into the pot and started to cook. As he cooked, he talked about some of the steps. From time to time, he would try the tea leaves. At the same time, he adjusted the firewood in the stove to control the fire. Try it. This should be enough. He grabbed a handful of tea leaves and handed them to Wang Yao. Then, he put the fried tea leaves into a prepared dustpan. Then, he began to rub the tea leaves. It felt similar to kneading dough. You have to rub the tea while it's hot. It's similar to kneading dough. Try it again. This should be enough. Wang Yao reached out and tried it. He felt that the tea leaves had cooled down. Then, Master Su spread out the tea leaves and put them into the pot. After he felt it was enough, he took the tea leaves out of the pot and put them into the dustpan to rub. He repeated this 5 times. This is enough. The last step was drying. The color of the tea had completely changed from the original green to dark green, which was close to black. The hand-fried tea was finished. This tea can't be drunk immediately after it's cooked. It needs to be left for a while, Master Su said. Wait for it to cool down. From picking tea leaves to frying tea leaves, it was already afternoon when they were done. During the whole process, they didn't even have lunch. Let's go, Master Su. Let's have lunch together. Let's eat at home. It's ready. Master Su wiped the sweat on his head. While they were busy, his wife had prepared lunch and had been waiting for them. It was the first time they had seen Master Su's wife since they had been there for half a day. Huh? Wang Yao looked at Master Su's wife's expression. He knew that she was not in good health. Half of her hair was white, her face was slightly yellow, and her eyes were heavy. There was not much spirit in her eyes. Is Annie not feeling well? He asked Master Su. Yes, it's an old problem. She has a headache. I can't find the root of the problem. Master Su sighed. When she has a headache, she can't do anything. She was lying on the Kong just now. No wonder they didn't see her when they came. She was not feeling well. Master Su and Master Su were very embarrassed to cook a table full of dishes for them because she was not feeling well. Tian Yuantu put down his chopsticks and looked at Wang Yao. He didn't speak until he saw Wang Yao nod. What a coincidence. He is a doctor, and his medical skills are very good. Tian Yuantu pointed at Wang Yao. Why don't you let him take a look at Annie? Really? Master Su looked at Wang Yao said. I can try, Wang Yao said with a smile. Let's eat first. We'll talk after lunch, Master Su said. During lunch, Master Su occasionally added some vegetables to his wife's bowl. It was just a subconscious action, but it showed that the relationship between the couple was very good. They didn't drink during lunch, so they finished the meal quickly. After lunch, Wang Yao went to see his wife. Master Su's wife's illness was somewhat similar to Tian Yuantu's wife's illness. It could be considered a chronic illness for many years. Because of the headache, she couldn't rest well, which damaged her vitality. Her body was gradually worn down. Now, she not only had a headache, but also other problems. I can cure this illness, Wang Yao said. Really? Master Su was excited. Yes, I'll go back and think about it. You wait for my news, Wang Yao said. Okay. Master Su was very happy to hear that there was hope. His wife had been sick for many years. She had been to many places, but she had never been cured. After lunch, Wang Yao asked Master Su about the details and experience of making tea and wrote it down. Then, he left with Tian Yuan-tu. Chapter 132. After a busy day, he had gained a lot. After returning home, Wang Yao carefully recorded the tea-making experience he had learned that day. It was also a knowledge worth learning and studying. Then he went outside the house and looked at the dozens of green tea leaves outside. He felt that it would be a waste if he stir-fried these tea leaves with his current level, which was not even a beginner. It would be better to just pick them and ask Master Su to stir-fry them. As for the illness of Master Su's wife, he could treat it. He had already thought of the treatment method on the way back. He still used the medicine and slightly changed the formula of enchantment. After all, if he directly used the formula provided by the system, he had to pay. Even if it was given as a gift, there were restrictions. During this period, he had already given several formulas to Zhou Xiong's son. After receiving the system's prompt, he was not sure if there were any other restrictions. He asked, but the system did not answer. The core of this medicine was still the moonlight herb. This herb could nourish Yin and calm the nerves. Supplemented by other herbs, it could calm the nerves and properly restore the vitality in her body. Glossy Ganoderma, Angelica, Wang Yao listed the herbs he needed according to his own ideas. He still had all the herbs he needed. Well, it's almost done. These are enough. After working on the hill for a while, he went home when it was dark. When he was having dinner, he found that his parents did not look very good. What's wrong, Mom and Dad? Your third uncle lost his job, and your third aunt is making a fuss at home. She wants to divorce him, Zhang Xiaoying said. Here we go again. Wang Yao felt a headache coming. Although this matter started with him, the root of the problem was that third uncle. If he lost his job, can't he just find another one? Wang Yao said, although the current economic situation was not very good, it was not so difficult to find a job. If he was willing to work hard, it was not a problem to support his family. What kind of job can your third uncle find? He is in his 40s and has no ability. He is only good at talking. He is not even half a bottle full of wine. Zhang Xiaoying said, let's look for it. Wang Yao said, originally, he wanted to say that if it really didn't work out, he would introduce a job to him, but he swallowed the words back. In fact, if he had told Tian Yuan-tu about it, given his situation, it would not have been a problem for him to arrange a random person. Moreover, there was an 80% chance that he would arrange a good job. The key was that his third uncle's character was too frivolous and not dependable. Even if he helped him this time, there might be a problem at any time. He did not say anything for the time being and decided to observe the situation first. He wants to go to Cheese City. He said he has classmates there. Wang Fenghua said, what about Auntie? She's at home. What can she do? The relationship between the husband and wife was not very good to begin with. They had big fights and small quarrels every day. They talked about divorce all the time. In Lianshan, at least they had a suite and a home. If the two of them were to live separately, the divorce might become a reality. Try to persuade him again, Wang Yao said. If it really doesn't work out, I'll ask my friends to see if they can introduce a job to him. Okay, Wang Fenghua agreed. The next day, the mountain wind was a little strong, causing the trees on the mountain to rustle. Wang Yao prepared the herbs and started to decoct the medicine. The wind blew outside the house, but there was only the crackling sound of the firewood burning in the house. Slowly, the unique smell of the medicine drifted out. Cooking was to mix different ingredients together to make a tempting taste. Decocting medicine was to combine different kinds of herbs organically to decoct medicine that could cure diseases and save lives. The former could satisfy one's desire for good food. The latter could save one's body and health. Unfortunately, there were many people who were obsessed with studying food, but there were too few people who focused on studying medicine. It was close to noon when the medicine was ready. After storing the medicine, Wang Yao went down the mountain. After entering the village, he met Wang Mingbao, who looked hurried. "What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry?" "I wanted to go up the mountain and have a rest, but I suddenly received a call. It's urgent. I have to go to Tang City," Wang Mingbao said. "Do you need help?" "Not for the time being. The friend I told you about last time has been arrested." "The one who sells ginseng?" "Yes. Call me if you need anything." "Got it. I'll go first." After saying that, Wang Mingbao hurriedly drove away. When he returned home and had lunch, his father mentioned his third uncle to him again. "Why don't you see if there's a suitable job and introduce one to him?" Wang Fenghua asked. "Okay, I got it." Wang Yao nodded. After all, he was his relative. He would help if he could. He just hoped that after this incident, his third uncle's character would change. After lunch, Wang Yao did not rush to go up the mountain. Instead, he drove out of the mountain village and went to Master Su's house in Riverside Town. "Why are you here?" Master Su was surprised to see Wang Yao. "This is the medicine I made for your wife. Take it warm within 3 days. Don't use too much medicine each time. A small teacup is enough." Wang Yao gave the medicine to Master Su. "Thank you so much." He did not expect Wang Yao to come specially to give his wife the medicine, which made him very touched. "Come in and have a seat." Master Su invited Wang Yao into the house and taught Wang Yao many skills about making tea. Wang Yao did not stay at his house for too long. Before leaving, he told him not to tell anyone about the medicine. "Is there any problem with the decoction?" Master Su's wife asked in a low voice after Wang Yao left. She sounded weak. "What problem can there be? Can you drink a little first?" "Well, I'll give it a try." Master Su took the bottle and gently poured out a small cup. The medicinal soup was very clear and was still warm. When it entered the mouth, it did not have a stimulating taste. Instead, a warm feeling entered the stomach and spread in a short period of time. "How is it?" Master Su asked with concern. "Even the elixir of immortality does not take effect so quickly," his wife said with a smile. "I'll go in and lie down for a while." Well, okay. It was not easy for the husband and wife to go through so much together for more than 30 years. Wang Yao did not drive home. Instead, he drove to Tian Yuantu's company. This was the first time he came to Tian Yuantu's company. It was a real estate company, which was very impressive. In fact, his family business was far more than that. "Hey, what brings you here today? Please come in." After hearing from the receptionist that the visitor was Wang Yao, Tian Yuantu personally came down to welcome him into the office and made him a cup of tea. "I have something to trouble you with today," Wang Yao said after hesitating for a moment. "Say it, what is it?" Tian Yuantu asked. "Yes." Wang Yao was a little embarrassed to say it. "Just say it." Tian Yuantu thought Wang Yao had encountered something difficult. "I have a relative who wants to find a job. Do you think you have a suitable one?" "That's it." Tian Yuantu was stunned for a while before he came back to his senses. He thought Wang Yao was looking for him for something difficult. This was a piece of cake for him. There were thousands of employees in his companies. It was just a matter of a few words for him to arrange for someone to work for him. "Yes." "What's his name? Do you have his information?" "Yes." Wang Yao had prepared some information about his third uncle in advance. It was very simple. He only had his name, age, and work experience. "Wang Fenglei. What's his relationship with you?" Seeing the name, Tian Yuantu thought he knew Wang Yao's father was Wang Fenghua. The two names are so similar. There was an 80 to 90% chance that they were related. "Yes, my third uncle." "Your third uncle?" Tian Yuantu was slightly surprised. "Yes." Wang Yao didn't hide this. "What about the salary? How high is the requirement?" Tian Yuantu continued to ask after listening. "Well, 3,000. Wang Yao thought for a moment. He had asked his father. His third uncle only received 3,000 yuan in the original company. The work he did was not a lot, and it was not heavy. It was just that there were some profits. Okay, I got it. He can report to the personnel department at any time. This is his phone number. After listening, Tian Yuantu gave Wang Yao a piece of paper with a phone number and a person's name written on it. Thank you very much. Hey, this is not a big deal. Tian Yuantu directly smiled and waved his hand. This was indeed not a big deal for him, but it was a big help to Wang Yao. After staying at Tian Tiyuan's place for a while, Wang Yao said goodbye and left. After returning home, he told his father about the matter. After listening, Wang Fenghua called his brother. After saying a few words, he hung up the phone. Your third uncle said that he would go and have a look tomorrow. Well, okay, Wang Yao said. One thing was solved. It could be said that one of his father's worries was lifted. Wang Yao obviously saw that his father's face was a lot better. After dinner, Wang Yao did not rush to go up the mountain. Instead, he stayed at home for a while and talked to his parents. Then, he called Wang Mingbao and asked about his friend to see if he needed his help. On the phone, he knew that his friend had almost been arrested because of this matter. His family had spent a lot of effort and a lot of money to get him out of jail. Not to mention that all the money from selling ginseng had been spent, but also a lot of money. It was a lesson learned. It's good that he is fine. After chatting for a while, he hung up the phone. In a family in Riverside Town. I feel much better. A woman in her 50s smiled and said to her husband, my head doesn't hurt so much. This medicine is really effective. It's good that it's effective. A man in his 50s smiled and said, this was Master Su, who had previously taught Wang Yao how to make tea. His wife felt much better after taking the decoction sent by Wang Yao, which made him very happy from the bottom of his heart. Chapter 133. Sleep early if you feel better, Master Su said to his wife. Yes, I hope I can have a good sleep. Since she had suffered from headaches, her sleep had been affected. Sometimes she would wake up from her dreams. Her headaches would be worse at that time. It was as unbearable as being pricked by needles. I have to thank Dr. Wang when I have the chance, Master Su thought. The night was dark, and the sky was high, and the stars were far away. On the quiet Nanshan Hill, there was only one light in the cottage. The sound of chanting could be heard from the cottage. With the wind blowing, it seemed to be able to float far away. The light in the cottage didn't go out until past 10 o'clock at night. The next morning, Zhou Xiong took his son to Nanshan Hill again. When he went up the hill, Wang Yao had just finished practicing on the top of the hill. This time, he started to practice with Wang Yao. Normally, this speed was already too fast. However, after seeing Wang Yao's Tai Chi, he knew in his heart that Tai Chi was more important than the form. When he was explaining to Wang Yao how to push the hands of Tai Chi, Zhou Xiong felt an extraordinary force coming from his arm. What a strong force! If Zhou Xiong hadn't practiced Kung Fu for so many years, his lower body was stable, and he knew how to disperse the force. He might not have been able to withstand this force. Slow down, don't rush. Pushing the hands of Tai Chi was a sparring method. It was the transmission and feedback of information. During the process of pushing the hands of Tai Chi, Zhou Xiong explained the techniques of Tai Chi to Wang Yao in a way that was very similar to actual combat. Zhou Wukong and San Xian were watching the show with great interest. Zhou Xiong explained very carefully. Wang Yao also listened very carefully. Time passed quickly. Soon it was noon again. This time, Zhou Xiong and his son didn't stay for lunch. They went back to Lianshan County. At noon, when Wang Yao returned home, he found that his third uncle was also there. He was talking to his father with a smile. He seemed to be in a good mood. Third uncle, Yao is back, Wang Fenglei said with a smile. Aren't you bored on the hill all the time? Fortunately, I'm used to it. While they were talking, Wang Yao's mother had cooked a few dishes. He helped her to put them on the table. During the meal, Wang Yao's third uncle talked a lot because he was in a good mood. He even drank 2 more glasses of wine. During the meal, he also talked about him going to Jiahui Group. Originally, he heard that his brother wanted him to try a job. He didn't care too much. However, when he heard the name of the company, it was different. Jiahui Group was one of the top companies in Lianshan County and was also very famous in hike. When he arrived at the Human Resources Department of Jiahui Group, The person in charge there personally received him. His attitude was very warm. This made him very surprised. He arranged a good job for him as a logistics worker. The work was not tiring, and he had off duty every week. However, the salary was more than 4,000 yuan, which was relatively high in Lianshan County. This made him very surprised. He didn't expect his brother to have such connections. After thinking carefully, he felt that it might have something to do with his nephew. Therefore, he came to Wang Yao's house the next day. Just settle down and do a good job. Wang Fenghua still didn't talk much. I know, Wang Fenglei said. Please don't make any more trouble. Wang Yao thought to himself. At noon, his third uncle drank more than 500 grams of wine. It was obvious that he was drunk. Third uncle, when are you going to work? Next week. Don't ride your bike. I'll drive you back. It's okay. This little bit of wine is nothing. Wang Yao's father didn't let him leave immediately. Instead, he asked him to stay at home for a while. He drank a lot of water until he sobered up. He didn't let him go back until nearly 2:30 in the afternoon. He was still a little worried, so he reminded him a few more words before leaving. After Wang Yao's third uncle left, Zhang Xiaoying asked, "What job did you find for him?" "I don't know." "You don't know? Didn't you introduce him?" "I introduced him, but I don't know what job I arranged for him. However, looking at my third uncle's appearance, it should be a good job," Wang Yao said with a smile. "It's best if it's a good job. Don't make any more trouble." "I also hope it won't make any more trouble." Wang Yao didn't say this out loud. If his third uncle caused any more problems in Tian Yuantu's company, how should he explain it to Tian Yuantu? What would Tian Yuantu think? 2 days later, Wang Yao went to Master Su's home. He mainly wanted to see how his wife was doing. Master Su and his wife were very happy after seeing each other. They served tea and fruits. Wang Yao noticed that Master Su's wife's complexion was obviously much better. He chatted for a while and asked about her situation. Then he checked her pulse. After hearing the effect, he knew the decoction he prepared had worked. "Thank you so much, Dr. Wang," Master Su said. Since taking the decoction sent by Wang Yao, his wife's condition had improved immediately. This made him very surprised and excited. Originally, he wanted to find an opportunity to go to Wang Yao's place to express his gratitude. He didn't expect that he would actually come. "You were too polite," Wang Yao said with a smile. Master Su and his wife were very friendly. Wang Yao sat in their home for a while. "By the way, there is one more thing I want to trouble you with, Master Su. Don't call me Master. You are too polite. In terms of age, I am old enough to be your uncle. Just call me uncle from now on," the man named Su Maosheng said. "Well, Uncle Su, it's like this. I planted a few tea trees on the mountain. It seems that they can be picked to make tea. However, I'm not even a beginner. If I make tea, it will only spoil those things. So, I want to ask for your help. I will pick them and bring them to you to make tea. What do you think?" I thought it was something serious. "No problem," Su Maosheng said with a smile. In terms of other skills, he might not be as good as Wang Yao. However, when it came to making tea by hand, he had been doing it since he was in his 30s. He had more than 20 years of experience in making tea. He was a famous tea master in Riverside Town and had taught many apprentices. This was just a small matter for him. "Okay, when are you free so that I can pick the tea leaves and bring them to you?" "How about this? I have nothing to do in the afternoon. I will go to your place to have a look. How about your tea leaves? I could prepare them first." "Okay." Wang Yao drove Su Maosheng to the village and then walked up Nanshan Hill. "What kind of people are you?" As soon as he entered the herbal field, he saw all kinds of herbs. His eyes were full of green. It was very pleasing to look at. Su Maosheng asked curiously, "These are herbs used to decoct medicine. They are so good-looking." After a few steps, the two of them came to Wang Yao's tea leaves. These tea trees were originally ordinary tea trees that Wang Yao had purchased from the nursery. They were not famous. He had planted them on a whim. There were only 20 of them in total. However, under the watering of the ancient spring water, they grew very fast. This tea? Su Maosheng looked at the dozens of tea trees in a daze. These teas were somewhat similar to the ones he planted in the tea garden, but they were not the same. They were more delicate and tender. He reached out and plucked a tea leaf. First, He put it to his nose and sniffed it. Then he put it into his mouth and slowly chewed for a moment. After that, he swallowed the tea leaf. Good tea, he sighed. In the past 20 years, he had been planting tea leaves and making tea by hand. He had not been doing it behind closed doors in Lena Town. In the early years, he had gone to some famous tea-producing areas in the South to learn about the tea trees and tea-making techniques. In his tea garden, there were several old tea trees that he had brought in from other places in the early years. His experience over the years allowed him to practice a unique skill. He could not only make good tea by hand, but also judge the quality of the tea trees very accurately. Although the dozen or so tea trees in front of him were relatively young, the quality of the tea leaves was top-notch. Only the leaf buds picked from such tea trees could be stir-fried into top-notch tea leaves. The tea trees planted on the mountain were in a wild state. They were absolutely incomparable to the tea trees planted on a large scale in the tea garden. He had rarely seen such excellent tea trees in recent years. The only regret was that there were too few tea trees. Even if he picked them, he couldn't stir-fry much tea leaves. You flatter me. Unfortunately, there are too few tea trees. I estimate that even if you pick them, you can make at most 500 grams of tea leaves, Su Maosheng said. So few. Wang Yao was a little surprised. He saw that there were a lot of young leaves and buds on the tea trees. He thought that they could make a lot of tea leaves. 500 grams of fresh tea leaves means 500 grams of tea leaves. After hearing what he said, Wang Yao knew the yield ratio of tea leaves. 500 grams is fine. Let me know when you have time so that I can pick them and send them over. Su Maosheng did not rush to answer. Instead, he carefully looked at the tea trees one by one. After looking for a while, he said, "In 3 days, I will pick them myself." "Okay, I will pick you up then." "No, I can come by myself." Su Maosheng waved his hand. "How can that be?" "It's settled then. I will pick you up then. Come in and have a seat. I happen to have some good tea here. You could try it." Wang Yao invited Su Maosheng into the cottage and made him a pot of tea. Westlake Longjing? Without seeing the color of the tea, Su Maosheng could tell the type of tea just by smelling the fragrance. This ability was indeed amazing. Amazing. Is Westlake Longjing. Wang Yao poured a cup for him. Good tea. This is the real Westlake Longjing. Su Maosheng was surprised after taking a sip of the tea. I don't know. It was a gift from a friend. Wang Yao smiled and filled his cup. The real Westlake Longjing was very rare and hard to come by. Although it was not as rare as the Dahong Pao on Wui Mountain, ordinary people had only heard of it. It was very rare to be able to taste it. Are you usually on the mountain? After these few contacts, Su Maosheng found that the young man in front of him was completely different from the people of his age he had seen. There was something indescribable about him. He was not impetuous. He was quiet and natural. Chapter 134. Yes, I spend most of my time on the hill, Wang Yao said. It's rare for you to have such a temperament, Su Maosheng said. Young people nowadays preferred the prosperity of the metropolis, where people indulged in debauchery and indulged in luxury. How many people were willing to endure loneliness and stay on such a hill? After staying on the hill for a while, Su Maosheng left. Wang Yao drove him home. When Wang Yao returned home in the afternoon, he found that his sister was back. He realized that another week had passed. Time really flowed like water. He didn't realize that it had been a week. Hey, where did you go? I didn't see you on the hill. It had only been 2 weeks, but Wang Ru seemed to have become much more mature. Or rather, she seemed to have become more mature. I went out to send someone home. Sister, different now that you're a leader, Wang Yao said. Of course, Wang Ru said with a smile. I heard that you went to Dao a few days ago to see my future sister-in-law. Show me the photo. Wang Ru returned to her original appearance. Wang Yao shook his head helplessly. She's really beautiful. After seeing the photo on Wang Yao's phone, Wang Ru exclaimed, You should get her quickly. Sister, you're an unmarried virgin. Don't you think it's a bit too much to use the word get? What do you mean by get? Have you become stupid from planting herbs on the hill all day? Mom, Dad, you have to scold him. You don't have to worry about your brother. You better think about your own things. You're almost 30. Zhang Xiaoying said. Well, yes, Mom. I'll help you cook. Don't change the topic. Whenever Wang Ru came back, their home would be much livelier. It didn't take long for Wang Yao's mother to prepare a sumptuous dinner. The family sat together and ate happily. Hey, do you know how to treat gynecological diseases? Wang Ru suddenly asked such a question while eating. Cough, cough, cough. Wang Yao choked. He looked up at his sister in surprise. No way. You don't look like you have gynecological diseases at your age. Are you stupid? Of course it's not me. It's my colleague. I won't. Wang Yao refused directly. Didn't you claim to be able to cure all kinds of incurable diseases? That's just a general statement. According to your understanding, I have to be able to cure cancer? Wang Yao took a sip of the soup and asked. After dinner, the siblings were responsible for cleaning up the table, and Wang Ru was responsible for washing the dishes. Then the whole family gathered together to play poker until 9:30 at night. I'm going up the mountain. It's so late, and you're still going there? Don't you have dogs and eagles at your place? With them around, most people wouldn't dare to go up. I'm used to it. Besides, you're too noisy at home. I can't sleep, Wang Yao said with a smile. You're asking for a beating. Wang Yao went out of the house with a smile. After leaving the village, the night was very dark. He couldn't see his fingers in front of him. He also changed his walking pace. This was the pace taught by Zhou Xiong. He didn't walk very fast. He was appreciating it as he walked. Since he learned Kung Fu from Zhou Xiong, as long as he went up the mountain at night, he would practice his steps. In the middle of the night, such practice had a miraculous effect. He could feel his progress almost every day. The next day, when he was still practicing on the mountain, his sister went up the mountain and looked for something in his herbal field. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian kept barking. Hey, San Xian, what do you mean by that look? I'm not a thief. Believe it or not, I'll stew you in a dog soup. Woof, 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 woof. San Xian showed his teeth. Yeah, you actually understood? San Xian landed on a branch not far away. A pair of sharp eagle eyes stared at Wang Ru. Wang Ru was frightened by the dog and eagle stare. Okay, I won't move, okay. In the end, she simply stopped moving. She made a gesture of surrender with her hands and slowly left the herbal field. She felt that if she had continued, the dog and eagle might have attacked her. They've become spirits. She stayed in the cottage for a while. Wang Yao came down from the mountain. Sister, why did you come up the mountain? The two door gods you raised are almost becoming spirits. I just walked around the medicinal field, and they bared their fangs at me. They almost bit me. Why did you go into the herbal field? To find a kind of herb, Wang Ru said. Find an herb? You? Do you know it? Wang Yao asked with a smile. I have a picture of it. Wang Ru said. She picked up her phone and handed it to Wang Yao. Say a grass. What do you want this for? Wang Yao recognized the herb in the picture on his sister's phone. To treat burns. To treat burns? Where did you hear that from? Wang Yao was surprised. I heard it from my colleague. He said it was a faux prescription. Why? Is it wrong? Yes, it has this effect. Say a grass can clear away heat and detoxify, reduce swelling and discharge pus, and treat burns. What else is the faux prescription you mentioned? Let me think. I think there are eggs and sesame oil. Eggs and sesame oil? Don't tell me you're going to fry them? Wang Yao half joked. Fry them? They're going to be crushed and applied externally. Do you have any here? Yes. Wang Yao did have this kind of herb, but he did not plant a lot of it, and it was not very conspicuous. Therefore, it was not easy to find. Here it is. After a short while, Wang Yao found the saya grass that he had planted. This was his herbal field, so he knew exactly where each herb was. This herb was originally planted south of the Yangtze River. It was evergreen all year round with many leaves and whorls. It was green and lovely. How much do you want? I don't know. It's fine as long as you have it here, Wang Ru said. Sister, don't mention this herb to anyone, Wang Yao said as he looked at the green field in front of him. I know what to do, Wang Ru said. Wang Ru said. She was well aware of how much effort her brother had put into this mountain. After Wang Ru went down the hill, Wang Yao returned to the cottage and began to fill up his notebook. He also recorded the diagnosis and treatment of Su Maoxing's wife. He planned to see patients in the future. If there were any strange diseases, he would record them and compile them into a book. Maybe in a few decades, the book I recorded will also become a medical classic. Sometimes, Wang Yao would think so. Of course, it was just a fantasy. After all, the herbs he used to treat diseases were not everywhere. They were rare or even non-existent licorice roots. Not long after Wang Ru left, Zhou Xiong came to the hill with his son. As usual, he explained Chinese boxing to Wang Yao. Dr. Wang, let's calculate the consultation fee. Zhou Xiong mentioned it again when they were taking a break from practicing Chinese boxing. There's no hurry. Wang Yao smiled. In fact, he was not sure how to charge the consultation fee. If he charged according to the prescription provided by the system, it would cost at least a few million yuan. However, he felt that the price was a bit high. In 2 days, I plan to go back to Tsangzhou with Kong. There are some things I need to deal with at home. After I deal with them, I will come back to continue the treatment. So, how about this? Come back again before you leave. What about the consultation fee? 1 million yuan. Wang Yao said. Okay. Zhou Xiong agreed very quickly. In fact, the price that Wang Yao asked for was not high. He might not even be able to buy the herbs that he needed with that much money, not to mention the herbs that he was going to give away. In 2 days, I will make another dose of regather soup. When you go back, give it to Kong. Wang Yao said. He had just felt Zhou Wukong's pulse. The vitality in his body had been stimulated and was slowly expanding to the whole body. However, his vitality was still a bit weak. He needed external force to support this vitality. He estimated that another dose of regather soup should be enough. Okay, thank you. Before noon, Zhou Xiong took his son down the hill. Woof, woof, woof. Just as Wang Yao was about to go down the hill for lunch, the dog outside the cottage suddenly barked. Well, what's the matter? Wang Yao looked around and did not find any people or animals. He looked carefully and saw the dog, San Xian, barking at a herb. It was very strange. What's wrong, San Xian? Wang Yao walked closer to take a closer look. He found that there were insects on the leaves of the herb. There were not many insects, only a few. They were very small and inconspicuous. Insects. Planting flowers would cause insect disease. Planting grass would cause insect disease. Planting trees would also cause insect disease. This was common sense. Wang Yao also knew this. It was just that the cold winter suppressed these insects. Wang Yao did not think much about it. He thought that licorice roots were extraordinary, so he did not take precautions in this regard. However, the weather was getting warmer today. Some of the insects that had been hiding in the ground had awakened. It was just a small amount. When the weather continued to warm up, the herb field, the forest, and the mountain would be full of all kinds of insects. It did not matter if there were some insects. They were not harmful to the flowers and trees. Some were even beneficial. However, there were some insects that gnawed on the leaves. They were pests and had to be controlled. How to deal with these insects? Insecticide, no. Since he had planted these herbs, no matter if it was licorice roots or ordinary herbs, he had not used any foreign substances. He had only watered them with ancient spring water. These herbs were purely natural and did not have any impurities. How could he use insecticide? Looking at the insects that were still crawling, Wang Yao reached out and pinched them to death one by one. He then turned around and slowly went down the hill. Along the way, he was thinking about how to control the insects. Herbs could be used to cure diseases and kill insects. Some plants could emit a special smell to drive away insects, such as mint, tuberose, and insect repellent plants. Wang Yao stored a lot of knowledge about herbs in his mind. Chapter 135. I've got it. He thought of a licorice root called Kong wood, which could repel all kinds of poisonous insects. Although it was called a grass, it was actually a woody plant that grew very slowly. It could emit a unique smell to repel insects. In addition, the licorice root had another magical effect. What are you thinking about? Why are you so engrossed? A shout interrupted his thoughts. He saw Wang Ru holding a knife in one hand and a chicken in the other. She seemed to be killing a chicken. Sister, are you killing a chicken? Yes, I've killed it twice, but it's still alive, Wang Ru said. Wang Ru said, I can't find its artery. Aren't you a pharmacist? Tell me, where's the artery of this chicken? It's still alive after killing it twice? You can't find the artery? Wang Yao seemed to see pain and despair in the chicken's eyes. This was a kind of torture more terrible than death. Sister, I'm a pharmacist, not a veterinarian. People who kill chickens never ask about the artery. You're purely torturing the chicken. Why don't we let Dad and Mom handle it? No way. It's not easy for me to get this opportunity. You're just adding to the trouble, Wang Yao said. It was because of Wang Ru's initiative and participation that the chicken soup they planned to have at noon was postponed to the evening. After lunch, Wang Yao stayed at home for a while. When he was ready to go up the hill, he saw the party secretary accompanying two men in suits on the street in the middle of the village. He didn't know what they were looking at, but he didn't know why they were looking at it. He especially stopped at the position of the abandoned brigade house in the village for the longest time. Well, this position is more suitable, the middle-aged man in the middle said with a smile. What are they doing? Wang Yao just glanced at them and didn't take it seriously. He turned and went up Nanshan Hill. Back on the hill, he called up the system and found Kongwood from the medicine shop. However, this licorice root could only be exchanged by the stock. It required as many as 100 exchange points to exchange for one stock. Wang Yao didn't have that many rewards at the moment. She had no choice but to give up and find another way. He had already planted some peppermint, orange jasmine, and other herbs that could repel insects, but from the actual situation, it was obviously impossible to completely eradicate these pests. In other words, other than that, he had to think of other ways to prevent these insects from continuing to reproduce and spread. For this reason, he flipped through the catalog of spiritual herbs again, looking for a suitable spiritual herb. Finally, another spiritual herb appeared in his line of sight. Miasma grass. Avoid miasma and eliminate poisonous insects. According to the records in the catalog of magic herbs, the initial growth environment of this kind of magic herb was a bit special. It was a place where miasma was everywhere and was full of poisonous insects. However, wherever this kind of magic herb grew, there were no poisonous insects nearby. The venomous bugs in the absolute venom bug were parasites in the human body. Wang Yao could also exchange for this kind of spirit grass, and the price was not low either. 5 seeds for 50 reward points, which was almost all Wang Yao had now. However, he did not hesitate at all and exchanged for it directly. After walking around the herbal field a few times, he chose a location and planted the 5 seeds in different places in the field. He then watered the seeds with ancient spring water. I hope it will be useful, but the reward points are not enough. I have to harvest some ordinary herbs again. In the afternoon, Wang Yao indirectly harvested some herbs, but the amount was not a lot. He directly bought these ordinary herbs that had not been processed directly in the medicine shop and barely increased the reward points. After that, he was ready to decoct the decoction for Zhou Xiong's son, but found that the amount of several herbs was not enough. Coincidentally, he called Li Maoshuang. Coincidentally, Li Maoshuang still had some in stock. He did not wait and drove directly to Lianshan County. When Wang Yao saw Li Maoshuang again, he found that Li Maoshuang looked much better than the last time. Wang Yao checked Li Maoshuang's pulse and found that Li Maoshuang's body was indeed much better. This should be due to the changes in his living habits during this period of time, which are positive changes. Not bad, a lot better. Really? During this period of time, I don't smoke, drink, and only drink tea. I also have a gym card. I go to the gym when I have time. I spend money and sweat. I feel energetic now. The effect is great, Li Maoshuang said with a smile. Fitness is a good thing. As long as you persevere, your body will get better and better, Wang Yao said. I will persevere. I enjoy this kind of life very much now, Li Maoshuang said with a smile. Since the last time he was reminded by Wang Yao, he investigated the disease in his body and realized the terrible consequences if it continued to develop. His outlook on life had undergone a huge change. If in the past he lived to make money, now he lived to make a living. He declined social engagements and fewer fair-weather friends. He left more time for himself and his family in exchange for physical health and mental pleasure. He did not know how long he had not felt this way. In fact, sometimes being sick was not all a bad thing. It was a reminder from a body to make people pay attention and attract attention. If it could change some of the bad habits and attitudes toward life, it would be a blessing in disguise. Don't go back tonight. Stay here and have dinner together. What do you think? Li Maoshuang said. No, I have something to do. How about another day? Wang Yao's mother specifically told him at noon to go home for dinner and drink chicken soup. In his opinion, a family reunion was better than any party. Another day then, after leaving Li Maoshuang's place, he did not stay in Lianshan County. Instead, he went straight home. When he entered the house, he smelled a tempting aroma. It was the smell of chicken. It smells so good. You're back. Wash your hands and get ready to eat. Okay. A bowl of chicken soup was hot. There was no feed or medicine. It was a natural fragrance and a different taste. It was a kind of enjoyment. Mom's cooking is really good. Wang Ru sighed after drinking 2 big bowls of chicken soup. This chicken soup was supposed to be drunk at noon, Wang Yao said with a smile. What do you mean? Nothing. I just thought of the chicken that was in so much pain that it wanted to die. Thinking of his sister holding a chicken in one hand and a knife in the other, Wang Yao wanted to laugh. Squeak. It sounded like teeth grinding. After dinner, the family gathered together to watch TV and chat. After 9 p.m., Wang Yao came out of the house and walked toward Nanshan Hill. At night, the sky was very high and the stars were very bright. Wang Yao walked alone on the dark road. His body shape was strange. He was not walking straight. Instead, he was practicing Tai Chi. He practiced Tai Chi day and night when he was free. There was also a profound meaning in Tai Chi. It had many similarities with the scriptures. There was a pattern between movement and stillness. The combination of yin and yang was the beginning of Tai Chi. After practicing Tai Chi all the way up the mountain, his Chi and blood were surging. Then he guided the Chi and blood in his body several times with the Tao Yin technique in the scriptures. After the Chi and blood were stable, he looked up at the sky outside the cottage. Then he went back into the cottage to recite the scriptures. He did not turn off the lights and go to sleep until about 10 p.m. Just like that, the days passed by one after another. In the early morning, the warm sun shone on the earth, symbolizing the beginning of a new day. In the cottage, Wang Yao had already prepared the herbs and started to decoct the decoction. He added herbs one by one into the multifunctional pot for herbs. The ancient spring water was slightly boiling. The efficacy of the herbs was integrated into the pot. Wang Yao looked at the multifunctional pot for herbs. He added some firewood from time to time. He was focused and natural. A decoction with good herbs and good water still needed to be decocted carefully. The smell of herbs filled the cottage. Woof, woof, woof. Dog barked outside. Someone must have come up the mountain. Are you decocting the decoction again? The person had not arrived, but the voice was heard first. It was Wang Mingbao. He wanted to enter the cottage, but was stopped by San Xian. San Xian, let him in, Wang Yao shouted outside. San Xian turned around and went to the side. This dog. Wang Mingbao looked at San Xian and sighed. He pushed the door open and entered the cottage. Make the tea yourself. I need to wait for a while. Okay, you go ahead. Wang Mingbao did not refuse. He found the tea leaves and made a pot. Then, he poured a cup of tea and went to Wang Yao's room to decoct the decoction. What decoction are you decocting? Regather soup to consolidate the corporeity, Wang Yao said. How come you have time to come back today? The shop should be very busy on the weekend. There are people looking after the shop. I came back to see my grandparents and came to talk to you on the way. It's almost done. Wang Yao glanced at the decoction. He did not add any more firewood. He used the remaining heat to keep the decoction boiling. After decocting the decoction, the dregs were filtered out. The decoction was poured into a porcelain bottle. After washing his face, Wang Mingbao had already poured him a glass of water. Uncle Aunt, how are you? They are fine. How about your business? It's not bad. I recently received a big order. Wang Mingbao smiled. Really? That's good. Wang Yao was happy. It's the order from Jiahui Company. Jiahui Company, Tian Yuan too? Yes. The real estate industry was the main business of Jiahui Company. The company had projects in Lianshan County, Hike City, and even Tao City. Since it was real estate, it naturally had to be renovated. Even if it was the most basic renovation, it would be a big deal in Wang Mingbao's shop. If it were not for the party organized by Wang Yao last time, he would not have met Tian Yuan too. He would not have had such an opportunity. Tian Yuan too was giving face to Wang Yao. Thank you. We are brothers. You don't have to treat me like an outsider, Wang Yao said with a smile. Do you want to take time to invite him to a party? It's not necessary for the time being, Wang Yao said after thinking carefully. From Wang Mingbao's point of view, he had to thank the other party for this. However, to the other party, this was not a big deal at all. It was just a matter of a few words from him. It did not matter who did it. It was better to do him a favor, just like how he arranged a job for his third uncle the other day. When there is a suitable opportunity, I will tell you. Okay. Chapter 136. What? Wang Yao was surprised. He looked at Wang Mingbao carefully. What's wrong? Wang Mingbao was also surprised. You don't feel well, right? Did you have diarrhea this morning? Damn, how did you know? Wang Mingbao was surprised. He did have diarrhea in the morning. He thought he had eaten something dirty when he had dinner with his friends the night before. So he started to have diarrhea when he went home. He only got better after he took some anti-diarrheal medicine this morning. Give me your hand. Wang Yao felt his pulse. It should be food poisoning. Eat less oily food these few days and drink more water. Wait here. I'll boil something for you to drink. After that, he got up and went to the cottage where he boiled the medicine. First, he cleaned the multifunctional pot for herbs with water, added some ancient spring water, put on the shelf, and lit the firewood. Then he took out a piece of wild Ganoderma lucidum from the system grid, tore it into small pieces, and put it in the ancient spring water. Ganoderma lucidum? What are you boiling? Wang Mingbao asked curiously. The food you ate last night was poisonous. Plus the alcohol, the discomfort in your stomach is not the main problem. The main problem is that the toxin hurt your liver, Wang Yao said as he boiled the medicine. Is it serious? It's more serious than you think, Wang Yao said. Sometimes people were like this. In their daily lives, especially when it came to food, they often mistakenly ate things that they shouldn't eat, such as spoiled food, ingredients that they were allergic to, and so on. These things were not a big deal, but they could actually threaten the health of the body. In serious cases, it could even threaten the life. Ganoderma lucidum, wolfberry, and licorice. A few simple herbs and ancient spring water. After a while, another kind of herbal fragrance wafted out of the cottage. These herbs were boiled for a long time. When the temperature was almost right, Wang Yao added a few green leaves. These were the leaves of detoxification grass, which could detoxify all kinds of poisons. They dissolved in water and dyed the decoction light green. After the decoction was done, Wang Yao poured it into a porcelain bottle. Drink it within 2 days. No smoking, alcohol, or other stimulants. Okay, thank you. Wang Mingbao took a sip. It was a little bitter and a little sweet. Well, it's not bad. It's medicine. It's better not to drink it. While they were talking, dogs barked outside. It was Zhou Xiong and his son coming up the hill. They came to say goodbye and pick up the decoction. Dr. Wang, I've paid the fee. Can you take a look? I've received it. This is the decoction I brewed. It's the same as before. Wang Yao checked Zhou Wukong's pulse again. Before Zhou Wukong and Zhou Wukong left, Wang Yao reminded them of some things to take note of. Thank you for your treatment during this time. Before leaving, Zhou Xiong thanked him again. It's my pleasure. Kong, remember what I told you? I remember. Thank you, uncle, Zhou Wukong replied very obediently. Well, I wish you a safe trip. Okay, I'll come back as soon as I finish my business in Songzhou. The father and son didn't stay on the hill for too long. After picking up the decoction, they quickly left. Would you like to have lunch at my grandpa's house? No, it's too troublesome. My sister is still at home. Why don't you come to my house? No, thanks. I told my grandparents. Wait a minute. Let's go down the hill together. The two went down the hill together, chatting as they walked. So, Zhou Xiong and his son have gone back? Yes, something happened at home. They went back first. They'll come back again. I see that the child's complexion is much better. Is the treatment almost done? It's still early. Wang Yao shook his head. Some of the miscellaneous diseases in the body had been treated, but the treatment of the arm had not really started. It was the most difficult part to treat. He's so young, but he's suffering like this. On the way home, they met a person who looked very bad. His expression was gloomy, and he was walking a little bit unsteadily. Wang Yao stopped. He wanted to go up and say something, but he stopped. "What's wrong?" Wang Mingbao asked. "That is Uncle Fengming," Wang Mingbao said after taking a closer look at the family. "If I remember correctly, his father just passed away not long ago." Wang Yao remembered that not long ago, Fengming had come to his house to discuss with his father about changing the land. He had even built a grave for his father. "Well, it should be less than 2 months ago," Wang Mingbao said after thinking for a moment. "This family is good. Both husband and wife are very filial and honest. The old man was sick and paralyzed in bed for several years. He relied on them to take care of him." Wang Mingbao said. If Wang Mingbao said that it was not bad, it was usually not wrong. Otherwise, he would not have called Wang Mingbao uncle just now. "Doesn't he have any siblings?" Over the years, Wang Yao's main energy was mainly focused on the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. He knew very little about the family affairs in the village and did not ask about it. He has an older brother in Lianshan County. His brother is terrible. "What's wrong?" Wang Yao stopped. His brother works in the government in the city and is doing well. He is a section chief. Logically speaking, for the old man's retirement, those who should do their best, those who should pay, and those who should contribute should contribute. However, in the past few years, his brother rarely came back to see his father, let alone pay. As far as I know, the old man's medical expenses were all paid by Uncle Fengming. Even when the old man was buried, his brother only showed his face and left. Because of these things, his brother was a joke in the village. Everyone talked about it. Wang Mingbao was very familiar with the situation in the village. "Why do you suddenly ask about this?" "He is sick, and very sick," Wang Yao said. "Oh, it should be because of his father's illness? Let's go to his house and have a look." Wang Yao suddenly turned and said. For such a filial and kind person who was also from the same village, he felt that he should help him. The blue door was half open. More than half of the paint was gone. Some places had rusted. There were chickens in the yard. It was a bit messy. The house inside still had wooden window frames. It was a bit old. "Uncle?" Wang Mingbao shouted. "Coming." Hearing the shout, Wang Fengming came out from the inner room. He was wearing old clothes. "Mingbao Yao, come in and have a seat." He was very enthusiastic and welcomed them into the house. The decoration in the house was very simple. It could even be said that it was shabby. The furniture was old and the electrical appliances were old. Looking at it, there were not many things that had been there before. Looking at the person whose hair was mostly white and whose body was about to collapse, but who was busy greeting them, Wang Yao felt that the old saying might not be right. A family with a lot of good deeds might not have enough to celebrate. A family with a lot of evil deeds might not have any remaining misfortune. In this society, sometimes doing good deeds might not have good results. Good intentions might not have good results. Doing evil might not have bad results. The evil people still lived freely. "Uncle, don't be busy. We will leave in a while," Wang Yao said. "Come, drink some water first. Have you eaten?" "I have already told my family. We will go home to eat later," Wang Mingbao said. "Uncle, please have a seat. I have something to tell you." "Go ahead." Wang Fengming sat down with a smile. "Uncle, have you been feeling unwell recently?" Wang Yao said. At such a close distance, Wang Yao could feel that his breathing was rapid. There was an obvious smell of decay. There was also a strong body odor on his body. His eyes were dull. A little. It should be because I was tired a few days ago. Shall I take your pulse?" Wang Yao said. Yao, you know how to treat illnesses?" Wang Fengming was a little surprised. "I know a little." "Then let me take a look." He rolled up his sleeves and stretched out his arm. It was very thin. Hiss. After taking his pulse, Wang Yao found that his body's problem was more serious than the result of the diagnosis. His pulse was light and floating. His organs were weak. His meridians were blocked. He lacked vital essence. His body was seriously damaged. It was not as simple as getting sick from overwork. It was overwork, excessive sadness, and excessive anger. This illness had gone deep into his organs. If it was delayed, he would be beyond cure. Even the gods could not save him. "Uncle, your illness is serious. You have to hurry up and treat it," Wang Yao said seriously. For this illness, the effect of Western medicine was not very good. There was no Western medicine for the illness. Injections and surgery were not suitable. It was best to treat it through traditional Chinese medicine. "I've seen a doctor and prescribed some medicine. I'm taking it now," Wang Fengming said. "No wonder. When I came in, I faintly smelled Chinese medicine. How long have you been taking this medicine?" "About 7 or 8 days. One treatment is 10 days. Do you think it's effective?" "It's better. Can I see the medicine?" Wang Yao said. Of course. He took out a set of unboiled herbs and opened it for Wang Yao to see. Wang Yao recognized a few of the herbs. There was thistle, licorice, poria cocos, wolfberry. These herbs were mostly used to cool down the blood and to replenish vital energy. However, his current condition was that he lacked vital essence and his organs were weak. The key was to regulate his internal energy and strengthen his body. He was already deficient in vital energy and blood. He should use less herbs to cool down the blood. "Uncle, this medicine is not right. It won't work." Wang Yao looked carefully. "Where did you get the medicine?" "It's from Dr. Li in the next village." "Dr. Li?" Wang Yao was slightly stunned. He had never heard of this person. "That barefoot doctor?" Wang Mingbao was surprised. His voice was a little bit strange. "Yes, that's him. Barefoot doctor. Yes, that guy just cupped and treated waist and leg pain." "He was so mysterious," Wang Mingbao said. "Uncle, why did you go to him? I heard from other people that the medicine he prescribed is very effective." "It's not effective. My grandmother was not feeling well last year and went to him. The more he treated her, the worse she got. She had to go to the hospital in time. Otherwise, she would be in big trouble." Wang Mingbao's tone showed that he had a lot of opinions and dissatisfaction with the barefoot doctor. Chapter 137. "You must have spent a lot of money," Wang Yao said. "Yes," Wang Fengming replied. In fact, he didn't spend much money. The reason why he went to Dr. Li was that he heard it was cheaper to see a doctor there. "Uncle, listen to me. Don't take this medicine anymore. It's better to go to a regular hospital," Wang Yao said. "That trip will cost a lot of money." Wang Fengming was silent for a moment. He had spent a lot of money to treat his father's illness. "Uncle, if you trust me, I'll prescribe some medicine for you," Wang Yao said. "Well," Wang Fengming was silent for a moment. He then looked up at the two juniors. "Okay, I'll send the medicine to you at noon tomorrow. Don't take this medicine anymore. It's useless for your illness." "Okay, we'll go now. Stay for dinner." "No thanks. You should rest more." Wang Fengming walked the two juniors to the door. After leaving the house, Wang Mingbao asked Wang Yao softly, "Is he very sick?" "Yes, it's very serious," Wang Yao said. Wang Fengming's family was almost destitute. People said that filial piety was the most important virtue. In that case, Wang Fengming and his wife were kind people. However, God didn't seem to take special care of them or help them. After leaving Wang Fengming's house, Wang Yao looked back at the shabby house again. "If God doesn't help you, I'll help you. I'll go home first." Seeing that Wang Yao was in a daze, Wang Mingbao didn't disturb him. He just greeted him when he arrived at his grandfather's house. "Okay," Wang Yao responded, and then walked in the direction of his home. When he returned home, the meal was ready. While eating, Wang Yao was still in a daze. He was thinking about Wang Fengming's illness, how to treat it, and what kind of medicine was suitable. "What are you thinking about?" Zhang Xiaoying asked softly, noticing that her son was different. "I'm fine." Wang Yao came back to his senses. He hurriedly finished his meal and went back to Nanshan Hill. "What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry to eat?" Looking up at her son, leaving in a hurry, Zhang Xiaoying muttered, "I'll go check it out in the afternoon." Wang Ru's eyes lit up. "Eat your food and stay at home. At least your brother has a clue. Look at you. You don't even have a boyfriend. What are you going to do? Be a saint, Seiya." Zhang Xiaoying glared at her daughter. Wang Yao hurried up Nanshan Hill and entered the cottage. He took out the notebook from the system grid and recorded Wang Fengming's symptoms and diagnosis. At the same time, he also wrote down the treatment plan and medication that he had been considering. To consolidate one's foundation and nurture one's primordial spirit, one must also be comfortable and nourish one's spirit. He still needed to use the prescription provided by the system. He made some slight adjustments and added a moonlight herb to it. In the afternoon, the sun was still bright and beautiful. In the small house, flames rose. Multifunctional pot for herbs, ancient spring water, wild herbs, and licorice roots. Quietly, the efficacy of the herbs was combined and the fragrance of the herbs drifted out. Woof, woof, woof. A dog barked outside. Wang Yao raised his head to look. Should I hang a sign outside and say, "I'm busy. Unauthorized people are not allowed in"? Wang Yao was worried that people would always disturb him at this critical moment. Sun Yao asked this stupid dog to get out of the way. Wang Yao's sister's voice came from outside. Outside the cottage, Wang Ru angrily looked at the dog in front of her. "I've been here several times, San Xian." Woof. The dog bared its teeth at her. "Let her in," Wang Ru shouted in the cottage. The dog moved out of the way, but it still looked at Wang Ru as if she was a thief. "Stupid dog. Woof, woof." "Sun Yao, what are you busy with on Nanshan Hill in such a hurry?" Wang Ru pushed the door open and glanced around. She then found her brother brewing medicine in the back room. "Who are you brewing medicine for?" "A patient." Wang Yao stared at the multifunctional pot for herbs and said, "Drink water and pour it yourself." "Well, you're in such a hurry because of this. Some diseases can't be delayed," Wang Yao said calmly. Wang Ru poured herself a glass of water and went to the fire to watch Wang Yao brewing the medicine. "What are you adding in it?" "Glossy Ganoderma, ginseng, licorice." "Why do you ask? You won't understand even if I tell you." "Why don't I know?" "Hey, your pot is good. Where did you get it?" "The gods in heaven gave it to me," Wang Yao said grumpily. His sister stayed there for less than 10 minutes and asked at least 15 questions. Wang Yao was annoyed. "Sister, I'm brewing medicine. Please be quiet. Be quiet." "Hey, I'm so bored. I'm leaving." Wang Ru watched for a while and felt bored. She couldn't stay any longer. She would rather watch TV at home. "Take care. I won't see you out." Finally, the cottage was quiet again. Wang Yao looked carefully. Fortunately, there was no problem with the medicine. Wang Yao was relieved. He continued to concentrate on brewing the medicine. The decoction was successfully brewed when the sun was setting behind the mountains. After putting the medicine into the porcelain bottle, Wang Yao packed up his things and went down the hill. He went to Wang Fengming's house. "Uncle? Hey, Yao is here. Come in and have a seat." Wang Fengming answered and came out with a smile. He was at home. His wife was also at home. She was dressed very plainly. Half of her hair was gray. She looked at least 5 years older than her actual age. "Andy, hey, come in and have a seat." "Uncle, this is the decoction I decocted for you. Please try it. Take it within 3 days. 1 teacup at a time. Take it warm." Wang Yao took out the porcelain bottle and put it on the table. Ah, so fast. He didn't expect Wang Yao to be so serious and fast. He even sent it to his house. "How much does it cost?" It was inappropriate to refuse the medicine. Wang Fengming was also an honest person. He didn't want to refuse the kindness of a junior in front of him. "It's free. Why don't you take a look at the effect first?" Wang Yao said with a smile. He made slight adjustments to the original formula. He also needed to judge whether the adjustments were appropriate based on the actual effect. "It's free?" Wang Fengming was stunned. "Yes, I still have some herbs on the hill," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Uncle, you are an honest person. About this medicine, only you and Annie know. If you are worried, drink less first and try the effect." "Okay, thank you," Wang Fengming said. "I'll go first. In your situation, you need to rest more and eat something appropriate. The work in the field can be delayed and delayed. It's not too late to do it when you are better." Wang Yao reminded him again. "Oh, I know." The couple walked Wang Yao out of the door and watched him go out of the alley. They then turned and went back into the house. "When did Yao know how to make medicine?" his wife asked curiously. "I don't know. He came to our house at noon today and said that I was seriously ill. He also said that the medicine prescribed by Dr. Lee was wrong. He advised me to go to a regular hospital. He heard that I was afraid of spending money, so he said that he would make medicine. I didn't expect it to be delivered in the afternoon. Wang Fengming said, "Do you dare to use this medicine? I didn't hear from anyone in the village that he can treat diseases. Don't drink it and get yourself into trouble." His wife was worried. "Let's drink it first and try it. He can't deliberately harm people, right? Then drink less and try it." "Okay, I still don't trust my medicine." Coming out of Wang Fengming's house, Wang Yao was quite emotional. He could see that the couple still did not trust his medicine. However, their worries were not unreasonable. After all, except for a few relatives in the village, no one knew that he could treat diseases. It was understandable that they were suspicious and worried. It was also because of this that Wang Yao did not say much. He could see that Wang Fengming's wife was not very healthy. She was overworked and her body was damaged. However, he swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth. "Let's wait and see. This situation will change sooner or later." As a pharmacist, one who gradually grasped the profound medical skills, he was destined to not be unknown. Even if he wanted to, he was afraid that the system would not let him. Fame would not spread thousands of miles away. It had to be expanded step by step, starting from this small mountain village. The next day, early in the morning, Wang Yao drove his sister to work in Lianshan County. Then, he drove from Lianshan County to Lina Town. He had already made an appointment with Su Maosheng to pick up tea leaves on Nanshan Hill. When Wang Yao arrived at his house, Su Maosheng had already prepared the tools. His wife was also there. She looked much better, and the bags under her eyes were much lighter. "Don't be in a hurry to leave. I'll take a look at your wife first." Wang Yao went into the house and checked Su Maosheng's wife's pulse to diagnose her recovery. "Well, it's very good. I'll prescribe 2 more doses of medicine. She should be fine after continuing to take it." "Thank you very much," Su Maosheng said. He had also offered to pay the medicine fee, but was rejected by Wang Yao. "Let's go." "Okay, let's go pick tea leaves." Su Maosheng specially brought the tools to pick tea leaves and put them in the car. Then, the two of them went to the mountain village and went up Nanshan Hill. More than a dozen tea leaves were picked quickly. Wang Yao also helped. They did not have any problems picking tea leaves. When Su Maosheng was about to leave with the tea leaves, the dog, San Xian, stopped him and showed its teeth. "Get out of the way. Master Su is taking them back to make tea. He will return them again." Wang Yao reached out to touch the dog's head. San Xian then let them go. "This dog is so intelligent," Su Maosheng exclaimed. "It is quite clever," Wang Yao said with a smile. After picking tea leaves, the fresh tea leaves needed to be fried as soon as possible. In less than half an hour, Wang Yao drove back to Su Maosheng's house. There, Master Su had already prepared in advance. He went home to drink water and began to fry tea leaves. While he was frying tea leaves, Wang Yao followed and studied carefully. Su Maosheng was still the same as last time. He explained while frying tea leaves, but this time he was more careful and attentive. The tea was good and the people were good. They should not let them down. Gradually, Su Maosheng became more and more focused. When he was frying tea leaves, he did not explain to Wang Yao. It was as if he had entered a special state. He only had eyes for the tea. Chapter 138. Wang Yao didn't disturb them. Instead, he watched them quietly. Stir-frying, kneading, stir-frying, kneading again. The process was repeated, and the time and strength were different each time. There were no advanced instruments, no temperature and time detection and display. It was controlled and operated by one's own experience. This was the beauty and attraction of handcraft. Some things may never be made by machines. The spring tea picked from Nanshan Hill was stir-frying until the afternoon. During this period, Master Su almost did not rest. He was immersed in that special state, and Wang Yao observed and recorded silently. He did not disturb him at all. Phew! At the end of the drying, he breathed a long sigh of relief. Looking at the stir-frying tea leaves, Su Maosheng gently wiped the sweat on his forehead with a towel and said, "Well, I didn't waste these good tea leaves." Thank you for your hard work, Wang Yao said sincerely. Stir-frying tea was a technical and physical work. Just now, Wang Yao had observed the process of Su Maoxing's tea stir-frying. This process needed to control the temperature, stir-frying, and kneading. It required patience, physical strength, and energy. It was quite tiring to operate the process. It's okay, I'm used to it. Let's go over there and sit. These tea leaves need to be cooled down a little, and then put into bags. Su Maoxing wiped the sweat on his head with a towel. Okay. In the inner room, Su Maoxing's wife had already prepared water and fruits for them. She also carefully cooled a large cup of water for her husband. After Su Maoxing sat down, he picked up the cooled water and drank a large cup. When he was stir-frying tea, he basically did not care about drinking water. After drinking a cup of water, Su Maoxing sighed and said, after all, I'm old. If I were 5 or 6 years younger, this kind of work would be nothing. At your age, you are considered to be in the prime of your life, Wang Yao said with a smile. Prime of my life, huh? Su Maoxing laughed loudly. I really want to do this for a few more years. Not many people are willing to learn this craft now. Yes, not many people are willing to learn, Wang Yao said. Craftsmanship required attentiveness, patience, and meticulous study. Young people nowadays were a little impetuous and always wanted to earn big money. These were also what they lacked. There are specialized machines for making tea now, so there's no need to waste time on this. It's tiring and inefficient. Su Maoxing took a sip of water. But things made by machines can't be compared to things made by hand. Is there something missing? That's right. The shape and taste of the tea are still lacking. It also lacks that artistic conception. The two rested for a while before returning to the tea-making room. The room was well ventilated, and the tea had already cooled down. You can pack it now. It's about 1 jin. How many portions do you want? Su Maoxing weighed the stir-fried tea leaves and asked. Wang Yao said, 6 portions. All right, I happen to have some packaging here. You can take a look and see which one you should use. He made and sold tea here, so he had a complete set of packaging materials and packaging tools. Anything is fine. Something simple will do. Wang Yao casually picked the simplest packaging. The packaging was the same inside and outside. A simple landscape with the word tea. Originally, Su Maoxing wanted to give him 6 small buckets of tea leaves, but he refused. You can drink it yourself or give some to your friends. You don't have to be so particular. This is for you to try. Wang Yao left a bucket for Su Maoxing. Hey, this is too precious. I don't want it. There's still some left. Su Maoxing pointed at the remaining small pinch of tea leaves. That's not enough. You've been busy for a whole day. Do you think it's too little? It's not little. It's not little. I'll take it. Su Maoxing accepted it with a smile. He was also a person who liked tea, not to mention the tea leaves he stir-fried himself. Let's try this tea. What do you think? All right. Su Maoxing took out a tea set, took out an appropriate amount of tea leaves, and brewed them with hot water. The tea fragrance immediately floated out. It was pure and lingering. The tea was between yellow and green, clear and bright. The shape of the tea was excellent. There was not a single leaf or bud, and there was almost no damage. This was the craftsmanship of a tea master. Good tea. It's really good tea. Su Maoxing sighed. He was sincerely impressed. Truly good tea did not need to be tasted. Ask for its fragrance, look at its color, and observe its shape. These 3 were all top grade. This tea must be top grade as well. Su Maoxing picked up the teacup and carefully asked for the taste. He then took a small sip. The tea was mellow and refreshing. It left a fragrance in his mouth. Good. Su Maoxing sighed again. Lao He, come and have some tea. Then he rushed to his wife, who was still busy in the yard. His wife heard the sound and came into the house. It smells so good, she said with a smile as soon as she came in. Try it. This is a rare good tea. It's the mountain tea that Dr. Wang grew himself. It's top grade. Su Maoxing poured a cup of tea into his old cup. Well, it's delicious. It's better than the ones we grew, his wife praised after drinking a cup. Of course, mountain tea and garden tea are different. Our tea garden also uses fertilizers and herbs. In front of Wang Yao, Su Maoxing did not care about these things and directly said it. The pot of tea was brewed several times. The tea fragrance did not diminish. It was still rich. The color of the tea did not change. It was clear and translucent. This is above top grade. It can be called the best, Su Maosheng exclaimed. His face was full of smiles. As a tea master who had been making tea for decades, the happiest thing was to be able to stir-fry top-grade tea leaves with his own hands. The best quality tea could only be found by chance. It was just like how Wang Yao felt happy when he cured someone's illness. This was a sense of accomplishment. It was a sense of achievement that came from working in a profession and achieving a certain level of success. When Wang Yao left Su Maosheng's house, it was already past 4 p.m. After returning home, he left a pot of tea for his family. "Dad, Mom, this is the tea I grew on the mountain. Drink it yourself," Wang Yao said. "Okay," his father replied. Since Wang Yao's friends sent some famous tea, his parents also liked drinking tea. They drank a pot every day when they were free. When they heard that this tea was grown by their son, they were naturally happier. Wang Yao planned to give the remaining pots of tea to Tian Yuantu and the others. The next day, after finishing his morning practice, Wang Yao went down the mountain again and drove into the city. He first went to Wang Mingbao's shop. The business of his shop was getting better and better. Many people went to see the decoration materials in the morning. "Hey, how come you have time to come here?" Wang Mingbao invited him into his office and made him tea. "Don't be busy. I have something to give you." "I'll leave right away," Wang Yao said as he put a small pot of tea on Wang Mingbao's table. "Tea?" Wang Mingbao was slightly surprised. "I grew it myself and asked the master to stir-fry it. The quantity is limited. Try it. It's definitely right," Wang Mingbao said. He had almost blind trust in the things on Wang Yao's mountain. The jujubes and chestnuts were still fresh in his memory. They were extremely delicious. This mountain tea was definitely top grade. "No, I have it put away." Wang Mingbao hid the small pot of tea in his drawer. After staying for a short time, Wang Yao left and drove to Tian Yuantu's office. When he arrived at his company, he happened to have a guest. It was an old man in his 60s. He was slightly thin, but he was very energetic and had deep eyes. Tian Yuantu did not treat him as an outsider and directly invited him into the office. "How come you are free today? I have something to give you. It's the tea from my mountain. Master Su stir-fried it. Try it." Wang Yao put the small pot of tea down. "Really? Then I'm in luck." Tian Yuantu took the small pot of tea with a smile and put it aside. "Stay for lunch?" "No, thanks. You go ahead. I'll leave first." "Huh?" When he passed by the old man, Wang Yao paused for a moment. He heard a noise when the old man was breathing. It was like a bellows and was slightly rapid. There was a foreign object in the lungs. It was most likely phlegm. Tian Yuantu was slightly surprised. After seeing Wang Yao looking at the old man, he immediately asked with a smile, "What's wrong? I forgot to introduce you. This is Professor Liu, an expert in civil engineering. This is Wang Yao, my friend. Although he is young, his medical skills are extraordinary." Oh, Professor Liu was quite surprised. Wang Yao was so young, but he was worthy of the word extraordinary. He was a genius. "Brother Tian, you flatter me." "Young man, why are you staring at me?" Professor Liu asked with a smile. "Professor, have you been feeling unwell recently? Are you having trouble breathing? Do you have phlegm?" "Yes." Professor Liu was surprised again. If he was surprised because of Tian Yuantu's praise, then he was surprised because of the young man's ability. Tian Yuantu could tell that he was feeling unwell just by looking at him. Tian Yuantu could also pinpoint the specific location. This was really extraordinary. "Amazing, young man. I caught a cold a few days ago and had phlegm in my lungs. I feel better today," Professor Liu said. "Do you want Wang Yao to take a look at you?" "Okay," Professor Liu replied. "Let me take a look at you." Wang Yao sat down and took Professor Liu's pulse. There was indeed something wrong with Professor Liu's pulse. "Professor Liu, you have stones in your kidneys. It's been a while, right?" "Yes, it's an old problem," Professor Liu replied. "You usually like to eat meat. Also, you have severe constipation in the morning, right?" "Wow, you can tell that by taking my pulse." Professor Lu asked in surprise. Wang Yao just smiled and did not answer. There is no big problem with your body. It's just that you have to change your living habits, Wang Yao said after the diagnosis. Drink more water, eat more vegetables, and eat less meat. You can eat some wood ears and walnuts every day. Can you prescribe some medicine for me? Professor Lu had stopped looking down on Wang Yao. It was indeed amazing for a young man to have such skills at such a young age. Your situation is not particularly serious. It's best to improve it by changing your living habits. I can prescribe some medicine, but it may not last long, Wang Yao said. Chapter 139. It's fine for a while. I've been in pain for the past 2 days. I can't sit still when I'm in pain. It's so painful that I'm sweating all over, said Professor Lu with a smile. Okay, I'll give it a try, said Wang Yao with a smile. How many days will you be here? 3 days, said Professor Lu. I'll go back and think about it. I'll send the medicine over when I'm done, said Wang Yao. You don't have to come back. Just give me a call when you're done, and I'll arrange for someone to pick it up, said Tian Yuan too. Okay, said Wang Yao. When Wang Yao was about to leave, Tian Yuan stopped him. Don't leave. Let's have lunch together, asked Wang Yao. No, I have to go somewhere else. Maybe another day, said Wang Yao. Okay, Professor Lu. Please wait for a moment. I'll walk him out, said Wang Yao. Tian Yuan too walked Wang Yao downstairs. This is Professor Lu from Huqing Tongji University. He's an expert in civil engineering. He's also a consultant for our company. Every once in a while, he'll come back here to give us some guidance. I happen to have an important project here, so I invited him over to take a look, Tian Yuan explained as they walked. Well, that's a good thing. Okay, you don't have to walk me out. You can go back now, said Wang Yao. After leaving Tian Yuan-tu's place, Wang Yao drove to Li Maoshuang's place. Camellia, handmade. It's a treasure, said Li Maoshuang with a smile as he took the tea leaves from Wang Yao. Try it, said Wang Yao. Wang Yao didn't stay long at Li Maoshuang's place. He avoided lunchtime and drove back. In Jiahui Group, Tian Yuan-tu and Professor Lu were chatting happily in Tian Yuan-tu's office. Your friend is good, said Wang Yao. Yes, he's good. Let's try his tea, said Wang Yao. Okay, said Wang Yao. Tian Yuan took out the tea set and opened the small bucket. He tore open the packaging and smelled the fragrance of tea. He took out an appropriate amount of tea leaves and placed them into the teapot. Then, he brewed the tea with hot water. The fragrance of the tea was rich. It smells so good. Good tea. Professor Lu exclaimed as he smelled the aroma and looked at the clear and translucent tea. He then looked at the shape of the tea. It is indeed good tea. Tian Yuan too was also a tea lover, so he naturally understood the quality of this tea. He picked up the teacup and took a sip. It was sweet and mellow, leaving a fragrant taste in his mouth. It's been a long time since I've had such good tea, Professor Lu exclaimed. The quality of this tea is definitely not inferior to those famous teas. In fact, it's even better. Then you should drink more. I'm just offering Buddha-borrowed flowers. Why don't we split the tea and each of us gets half, said Tian Yuan too with a smile. In fact, no matter how precious this tea was, he didn't mind giving it to Professor Lu. However, this tea was personally grown by Wang Yao and given to him. As the saying goes, goose feathers are sent from 1,000 miles away. Although the gift was small, it was the thought that mattered. This represented a small part of Wang Yao's appreciation. How can I do that? This is your friend's appreciation. But please help me ask when he has more tea. Leave some for me. I don't care about the price, said Professor Lu. Okay. Wang Yao drove back home. After lunch, he went back to Nanshan Hill and wrote down Professor Lu's condition in a new notebook. Professor Lu's illness was not very serious. When it didn't act up, it didn't affect his normal life. It was not considered a difficult disease. As for the treatment, it was relatively simple. Wang Yao only needed the stoneflower. He was going to add a few more herbs. The main effect was to regulate the stomach and straighten out the liver. He also wrote down the prescription at the back of the medical record. Then, he started to prepare the herbs. The most important one was the stoneflower. He didn't use up all the stoneflower that he exchanged from the system last time. He still had the rest of the herbs. As for decocting the medicine, he planned to wait until the next day. Woof, woof, woof. Wang Yao heard the dog barking outside again. He went out to take a look and found insects on a few herbs. They seemed to be aphids. They came out again. Fortunately, there were not many of them. He carefully cleaned the insects with his hands and patted San Xian's head. Good job. Let me know if you find any insects in the future. Woof, woof. San Xian nodded like a human. Wang Yao looked up at the common herbs growing vigorously in the herbal field. They didn't have special requirements like the licorice roots. However, under the watering of the diluted ancient spring water, they grew very vigorously. Maybe it's time to harvest some. There were so many herbs. It was a bit crowded. It was easier for the pests to spread. Previously, he had harvested a batch of herbs to exchange for reward points. However, there were still a lot of herbs in the 2-acre herbal field. Some of these herbs could be used directly. Some needed to be dried many times and properly processed before they were suitable to be used as medicine. He kept some of the harvested herbs for his own use. Then, he used some of them to exchange for reward points through the system. He left a small part for killing and harvesting seeds. It was convenient to continue sowing and harvesting in the future. This was a meticulous job, and he was not particularly in a hurry. He planned it carefully. According to the list of herbs that he had planted earlier, he made a list. When he finished all this, it was already close to evening. Phew, time flies. He looked up at the dark sky outside. He packed up his things, locked the door, and went down the hill after saying goodbye to San Xian. When he returned home, he found that there was a guest at home. It was an acquaintance. Uncle. Hey, Yao is back. The guest was Wang Yao, who had diagnosed him and sent him medicine the day before yesterday. Wang Yao thought that he was here to talk to his father, but he didn't expect that he was here specifically to thank him. Is the medicine I gave you effective? Wang Yao knew the reason as soon as he heard it. Wang Yao's expression seemed to be better. His eyes also had some light. It's effective. It's very effective. Wang Fengming nodded with a smile. After Wang Yao sent the medicine, he just took a small sip with an attitude of trying it out. After all, he was a little worried and uneasy. As a result, he felt that his body seemed to be more comfortable when he went to bed at night. The next morning, he drank a little more. In the afternoon, he felt that his body seemed to be lighter. He was not so tired. He drank a little more in the evening. He also let his wife drink a little. After a night of rest, the fatigue of the body was reduced the next day. The abdominal pain was also reduced. His wife also felt more comfortable than yesterday. This surprised the couple. They did not expect Wang Yao to have such a powerful ability. The couple drank the medicine. As a matter of fact, he specially came to Wang Yao's home to express his gratitude. Looking at the fruit on the side, Wang Yao said, "Uncle, just come. You don't have to bring anything in the future." He had seen the situation of Wang Fengming's family. He felt that this elder was kind and honest. He was worth helping and saving, so he helped him. If it were people like Wang Yida, he would not care. Okay, tomorrow, I'll give you 2 more medicine. After you take it, we'll see how effective it is. Also, this medicine, you take it first. Don't drink it with my aunt. My aunt's health is much better than yours. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. Wang Fengming nodded. Uncle, it's enough for you and my aunt to know that I can treat diseases. Don't tell others. Wang Yao did not forget to remind him. Okay, although Wang Fengming had doubts in his heart, he did not ask. Uncle, I'm the same as the barefoot doctor surnamed Li in the next village. I don't have a medical qualification certificate. I don't worry about you and your aunt, but some people can't. If they spread rumors and have something on me, I'll be in trouble. Wang Yao did not mind explaining these things and the pros and cons directly. Don't worry. Your aunt and I won't say anything. Wang Fengming nodded solemnly. Wang Yao's parents invited Wang Fengming to have dinner with them, but he refused and said that he had eaten at home. After chatting for a while, he said goodbye and left. Seeing that the guest had left, Zhang Xiuying asked while serving the meal, "Your Uncle Fengming's health is not good?" "Not good. He was overworked, and overworked. His meridians were messed up, and his organs were hurt. He's very sick." Wang Yao took the bowl and chopsticks. "Is it that serious?" Upon hearing Wang Yao's words, his parents' expressions became serious. After a moment of silence, Wang Fenghua said, "Your Uncle Fuming's family is quite good. Okay, I know what to do, Dad." During this meal, Wang Yao ate very slowly. His family did not speak. They ate quietly. Ring, ring, ring. Buzz. Just as they were about to finish eating, a burst of ringtone broke the silence. Wang Yao picked up the phone and saw that the caller was actually Tong Wei. He looked at his parents, then got up and went into his room. "Hello, Tong Wei. Old classmate, what are you busy with?" The beautiful woman's voice was also very pleasant. It was like the clear spring flowing in the forest and the lark singing in the mountains. "I'm eating. What about you?" "I just got home." "You returned to Lianshan?" "Yes, when are you free?" "The day after tomorrow." Wang Yao thought for a while and said, he still had to prepare medicine for those people the next day. "Okay, that's settled then." After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao found that his mother was looking at him with a strange expression. "What's wrong, Mom?" "Who called you? You were so mysterious." "Classmate." "What classmate? Is it a guy or a girl?" When it came to classmate, Wang Yao found that his mother was particularly sensitive. "Tong Wei, I'll see if I can ask her to come over in the next 2 days. Haven't you been missing her?" Wang Yao said. He also wanted to try dating Tong Wei. "Okay, don't forget," Zhang Xiaoying said happily. The sudden phone call made the atmosphere at home a lot happier. After dinner, Wang Yao went straight to Nanshan Hill. Before he left, his mother kept reminding him not to forget this matter. After returning to the cottage, Wang Yao prepared the herbs. He had to prepare several sets of medicine for Master Su, Professor Liu, and Wang Fengming the next day. He estimated that it would take more than half a day. He still had the herbs. Chapter 140. After finishing all this, he took the small stool and went outside. He leaned against the wall and looked at the sky. In Lianshan County, there were few heavy industries. It could be said that there were almost none. The environmental pollution was poor, so the sky was always high. He had learned something from observing the sky for the past few days. He could guess what the weather would be like the next day through observation of the celestial phenomena. The celestial phenomena in the sky also contained some mysteries, which were worth observing and studying. It was not until late at night that the lights in the cottage went out. There was only the sound of the mountain wind outside. The next day, Wang Yao got up before dawn. He had a lot of things to do today. A simple meal, cultivation, and taking care of the herbal field. When he finished all these, the sun was already high in the sky. The weather was very good today. The right time, the right place, and the right people. It was the right time to brew the decoction. Wang Yao prepared enough firewood. He told his family in advance that he would not go down the mountain for lunch. "San Xian, I'm going to brew the decoction. Unauthorized people are not allowed in," he shouted outside the cottage. "Woof, woof, woof." San Xian barked twice, then ran outside the herbal field and began to patrol. In the cottage, Wang Yao began to brew the decoction. He started a fire. He added the decoction. He regulated it. As a program said, the taste was adjusted by experience. There were many key points to brew a good decoction. It also depended on the control of the person who made the decoction. The smell of the decoction in the cottage had not stopped since 9 o'clock in the morning. It lasted until the afternoon. Wang Fengming's illness was the most serious. He needed the most herbs to brew the decoction. He also needed the longest time to brew the decoction. Professor Liu's illness was the least serious. He also needed fewer herbs, so the decoction process was also simple. However, even if it was simple, Wang Yao had been maintaining a careful and serious attitude from the beginning to the end. He controlled every step. When he came out of the cottage, the sun in the west was already red. It was hanging on the mountain. Because he had an appointment with Tong Wei the next day, Wang Yao didn't go down the mountain directly. Instead, he sent the decoctions to the people who needed them. Wang Fengming was at home. After taking the first decoction that Wang Yao gave him, he felt that his body was much more relaxed. His spirit was also much better, and his eyes were more spirited. They were not as gloomy as they were at the beginning. When Wang Yao gave him 2 more decoctions, the couple was very moved. They warmly invited Wang Yao to have dinner at home. No thanks, uncle. I have to go out for a while. You and Annie should rest well. Hey, if there's anything you need, just let me know. All right. After a few polite words and putting down the decoctions, Wang Yao drove out of the village. He first went to Linhe Town, which was southeast of Lianshan County. It was only a 20-minute drive from Wang Yao's village. When he arrived at Su Maosheng's house, the couple was at home. Su Maosheng was still frying tea. When he heard that Wang Yao had come, he stopped what he was doing and came out to greet him. This is the decoction I brewed for Annie. After taking these 2 decoctions, pay attention to rest for a while. I think she will be almost cured, Wang Yao said. You could have just called me, and I would have gone to get it. You didn't have to come here, Su Maosheng said. It's okay. I just came out to relax. While chatting, Su Maosheng drank a big cup of water. Uncle Su, this frying tea, you should reduce the amount in the future. Wang Yao saw that Su Maosheng's eyes were slightly red. His breathing was a little heavy and his breath was slightly hot. If Su Maosheng was often frying tea, he would be too close to the fire. The heat was also strong, so it was inevitable that the fire poison would invade the body. It was better if the body was strong. However, for people like Su Maosheng, although Wang Yao said that he was in the prime of his life, in fact, his body had already begun to decline. The older he got, the weaker his resistance became. Fortunately, he liked to drink tea. Green tea could be used to make fire, which could be used to expel the fire poison. Tea made with fire had the effect of clearing heat and annealing. This was also the wonder of all things. I can't do much even if I want to, Su Maosheng said. Su Maosheng said, as he got older, he obviously felt that his energy was not as good as before. Last time, after he made less than half a kilogram of good tea for Wang Yao, he rested at home for a day before he recovered. You might as well drink more tea. I usually drink a lot. I don't dare to say anything about other things at home, but I don't lack tea. Wang Yao did not stay at Su Maosheng's house for long. He drove back to Lianshan County. Before that, he first called Tian Yuan too. After delivering the medicine, Wang Yao originally wanted to go home, but he was stopped by Wang Yao. Don't go. Let's have dinner together tonight. Call Ming Bao and the others. Professor Liu is also there. Okay. The dinner location was chosen at the place where he had hosted Secretary Yang last time. In that inconspicuous restaurant, other than Wang Mingbao and Li Maoshuang, there was another person who called for dinner. It was a deputy director of a unit with real power. Wang Yao actually did not particularly like this kind of banquet, but he found that Wang Mingbao was very happy. After all, he was a businessman. It was good for him to be able to make more friends. On the other hand, Li Maoshuang had changed a lot. If it was in the past, he would be very lively and drink a lot. Now, he only drank a little. Wang Yao and Professor Liu got along very well. The old man and the young man chatted very happily. In particular, Wang Yao gave Professor Liu a dose of medicine for free and asked him to try it out. After the meal, everyone left. Tian Yuan too stopped Wang Yao. Are you free tomorrow? Tomorrow, I have something to do. Why? I have contracted a mountain area. I plan to build a mountain resort in your town. If you're interested, let's go and have a look. My town? Wang Yao was quite curious. Their town had a typical hilly landscape. There were mountains everywhere. Although there were not many continuous mountains, one could see a few mountains after walking for a short distance. For example, the small mountain village he was in was between 4 mountains. Yes, I asked Professor Liu to come over and see what kind of building is suitable. How about another day? Okay. Wang Yao did not drink. He drove home by himself. The next day, the wind was gentle and the sun was bright. Wang Yao's mother called him early in the morning. She was afraid that he would be late and delay things. In fact, Wang Yao got up very early. When he was practicing on the mountain, most of the villagers at the foot of the mountain probably had not woken up yet. With his mother's reminder, Wang Yao drove out of the village and arrived in Lianshan County. He went to Tong Wei's house and called her. After a while, a beautiful woman walked out quickly. She was dressed casually and had light makeup on. Have you had breakfast? Yes. Where are you going? It's up to you. This put Wang Yao in a difficult position. In fact, Lianshan County was not big. There were only a few interesting mountains. Wang Yao had been there several times and felt that it was boring. The nearby hike city did not have any scenic spots. It was just close to the sea. However, Tongwei's town in Dao was also close to the sea. The sea view was much better than hike. After thinking for a while, Wang Yao could not think of any interesting places nearby. "What's wrong?" Tongwei asked softly when she saw that he did not start the car. "You haven't decided where to go?" Tongwei chuckled. "I heard that a place called Chongqing Mountain has been developed recently. Shall we go and have a look?" "No problem." It was much easier with a destination. Needless to say, Wang Yao had not been to this place. After setting up the navigation system, they set off for Chongqing Mountain. "How many days do you plan to stay this time?" 3 days. In my town, besides weekends, there are 3 days off every month, Tongwei said. "That's quite humane. By the way, when can we go to your herbal field to have a look?" "I was waiting for you to say that," Wang Yao said. "Anytime. How about this? Let's go to Chongqing Mountain in the morning and have a look at my place in the afternoon. In the evening, we can have dinner at my place. I'll send you back. What do you think?" Wang Yao arranged the itinerary for the day in an instant. "Okay." Tongwei agreed very quickly. "Let's go." After arriving at the destination, Wang Yao found that it was just a few hills. There were a few man-made pagodas and hotels on the hills. To be honest, it was not much different from Nanshan Hill. "Let's go. Since we're here, let's go up and have a look." Tongwei saw the disappointment on Wang Yao's face and smiled. "Let's go." Although it was just a few hills, and the newly built pagodas still had labels of construction materials and signs that had not been torn off, Tongwei was still very happy. From time to time, she would pose for Wang Yao to take pictures of her. What made Wang Yao even more curious was that there were actually a lot of people who came to visit these hills. The key point was that today was not the weekend. He really did not understand why these people did not need to work. Were they like him, leisurely and leisurely? Sigh, there are a lot of stones on this hill. He found that there were a lot of stones on one of the hills piled up together. The people who developed this place used these stones to create the 18 holes. "Let's go up and have a look." Tongwei approached Wang Yao said. Perhaps because of the activity on the hill, she was slightly out of breath. Her breath smelled like orchids. "Okay," Wang Yao hurriedly said. The road up the hill was very narrow. There were some stones on both sides of the road. The stones piled up to form some holes. Many people climbed up the stones to take pictures as a souvenir. "It's a pity to leave these stones here," Wang Yao said. "What did you say?" Tongwei at the side heard him and asked. "Nothing. Be careful." Suddenly, there was a shout. With a loud bang, a stone rolled down from the hill. When Wang Yao heard the sound and looked over, the stone was already in front of him. It was only 2 meters above Tongwei's head. "Move," Wang Yao hurriedly said. Tongwei was instantly stunned. Her beautiful face turned pale. Wang Yao arrived in front of her in one step. The qi in his body was flowing like a river. He raised his hands and pulled. Whoosh! The hundreds of kilograms big rock changed its direction and fell into the mountain stream nearby. It made a rumbling sound and stirred up a cloud of dust. "Are you okay?" Wang Yao hurriedly checked Tongwei from head to toe. After making sure that she was not injured, he was relieved. Chapter 141. "You're not hurt, are you?" Tongwei came back to her senses and looked at Wang Yao with concern. At the same time, she stretched out her hand to check his arm. That rock was not small. It must have weighed at least a few hundred kilograms. He must have used a lot of strength to drag it out. His arm might have been injured. "Damn, did you see that? A kung fu master. Did you take a picture? If this is posted online, it will definitely go viral." A few people who were climbing the mountain nearby were lucky enough to see that amazing scene. They were all stunned. The rock that rolled down the mountain just now must have weighed at least a few hundred pounds. Coupled with the huge impact of falling from a high place, it was actually easily pushed out by someone. This was a scene that could only be seen in movies. They did not expect it to happen in real life. Feeling the eager eyes of the crowd, Wang Yao and Tongwei felt uncomfortable. They hurriedly found a mountain path and left. "You know Kung Fu?" Tong Wei asked when they reached a place where there was no one else. The scene just now really shocked her. If Wang Yao did not make such an amazing move in time, she would be in trouble. I know a little, Wang Yao said with a smile. You only know a little, and you're already so good. What kind of kung fu did you use just now? Tai Chi 4 ounces to 1,000 pounds. In fact, Wang Yao was just casually saying. He had just started learning Tai Chi. He had not practiced techniques like 4 ounces to 1,000 pounds. The situation just now was purely the effect of his extraordinary strength and neishi. Of course, it was undeniable that he had been practicing Tai Chi for the past few days. Amazing! Tong Wei's eyes lit up. She found that her classmate was becoming more and more mysterious and attractive. In the morning, the two of them walked around a few mountains. Although the scenery was ordinary, the two of them had a lot of fun. Soon it was lunchtime. There was a restaurant on the mountain, and it was not small. There were many people eating there. The two of them ordered a few dishes. Although it was advertised as wild vegetables, wild chicken, and fish, the taste did not feel like it. Moreover, the price was not cheap. A place like this probably did not intend to keep returning customers. After eating on a mountain, the two of them rested for a while before going down the mountain to Wang Yao's herbal field. When they arrived in town, Tong Wei specifically asked Wang Yao to stop. After getting off the car, they went to the biggest supermarket in town to buy some gifts. What are you doing? There's no need for this. It's my first time going to your house. I can't go empty-handed. Let's go. Wang Yao shook his head. When he drove home, he found that the house looked brand new. It was very clean and tidy, and his parents had changed into new clothes. It seemed like they were specially prepared for Tong Wei's arrival. Is that necessary? Wang Yao muttered to himself. Hello, Uncle and Annie. Tong Wei greeted them generously. Hey, you're so handsome. You don't have to bring gifts. Zhang Xiuying invited Tong Wei into the house. She held her hand and asked her about this and that. In Wang Yao's impression, he did not remember that his parents were so enthusiastic about him and his sister. His father, Wang Fenghua, was also happy at the side. They chatted for more than an hour. Wang Yao's parents directly ignored him. Mom, Tong Wei still wants to go to Nanshan Hill to have a look. Okay, let's go and have a look. Zhang Xiuying laughed happily. Let's go then. Okay. The two of them went out and walked along the village's main street to Nanshan Hill. At this time, there were still people coming back from Nanshan Hill and chatting outside. Those who saw Tong Wei were stunned for a while. Needless to say, the young men were even more stunned. She's so beautiful. The village hasn't had such a beautiful girl for many years. This is Wang Yao from Fenghua's family, right? Where did this guy kidnap such a beautiful girl from? Under the envious and jealous eyes of the villagers, Wang Yao took Tong Wei to Nanshan Hill and went to the hill that he had contracted. Did you plant all of these? Tong Wei asked as she looked at the dark green herbs in the medicinal field. Yes, I used to have more. I harvested some of them, so there's still a lot left. Hey, this dog. Tong Wei suddenly realized that no matter where she went, the dog that looked like Wang Yao followed beside her. Moreover, the way it looked at her was strange, as if it was guarding against a thief. That's right. Sensien, what's wrong? Nothing. I just feel that the way it looks at me is strange. Maybe it's my illusion? Tong Wei smiled and said, It's not your illusion. It's always like this when strangers come. Don't worry too much. Oh, Tong Wei looked at the herbal field for a while and then walked around in a circle nearby. Did you contract this hill? Yes, I mainly use this side now. The other side is too steep and there are a lot of rocks. I haven't thought about how to use it yet, Wang Yao said. Do you stay on the hill a lot? It can be said that most of the time, Wang Yao said. I also spend the night here at night. At night, you're alone on the hill. Yes. Aren't you afraid? At the beginning, I was a little afraid, but I got used to it. Now, I have San Xian and Xia with me, Wang Yao said. San Xian is the dog. Who is Xia? I forgot to introduce you. That's him. Wang Yao pointed to the sky. There was a small black dot high up in the sky. It was vaguely visible that it was a relatively large bird. It didn't know whether it had discovered Wang Yao or other reasons, but it was rapidly descending. Xia! Wang Yao shouted to the sky. Caw! There was a cry. It was an eagle. The eagle in the sky slowed down after descending. Then, it landed on a rock very close to Wang Yao. "This is Xia." Wang Yao smiled and walked to the eagle's side. He reached out and stroked its feathers. The eagle seemed to enjoy it. Tong Wei's beautiful big eyes were full of surprise. Her red lips were slightly open. She looked beautiful and cute. "You even have an eagle?" "I'm not raising it. It lives here," Wang Yao explained. In the past, Tong Wei had only seen an eagle keeper on TV. She didn't expect to see one in real life. It was her old classmate. "Come in and have a seat." "Okay. Goodbye, Xia." Tong Wei waved at the eagle. Xia ignored her. In the eagle's eyes, there was no such thing as a beauty. "What tea would you like to drink?" "Anything. I have tea that I grew myself. I specially asked a master to hand-fry it. Do you want to try it?" "Sure," Tong Wei said with a smile. Wang Yao kept a small can of the 6 small barrels of tea that he made last time. He opened the package and took some to make a pot of tea. After entering the house, Tong Wei began to observe the inside of the house. There was a bed, a table, a chair with a back, a small coffee table, and a few stools. There was firewood in a big pot in the house. It was very simple and clean. "Try it. How does it taste?" Wang Yao poured a cup of tea for her. "It smells so good." Tong Wei took a small sip. "What do you do besides taking care of the herbal field?" "Reading books, practicing boxing, and brewing medicine." "Brewing medicine? You also know how to treat patients?" "Yes. There are surprises everywhere," Tong Wei said with a smile. When the sky turned dark, the two of them went down the hill. His parents had already prepared a table full of dishes. Wang Yao's sister had also come back. His mother had specially called her after Tong Wei came over to ask her to come back and take a look. "This is my sister, Wang Ru. This is Tong Wei." "Hello." Wang Ru was very steady and generous. She was completely in line with the identity of an elder sister. The family was very happy to have this meal, especially Wang Yao's mother. She kept putting food on Tong Wei's plate. After the meal, Tong Wei stayed at Wang Yao's house for a while. Then, Wang Yao sent her back to Lianshan. He also stayed at Tong Wei's house for a short while to meet Tong Wei's parents. After chatting for a while, Wang Yao left. Tong Wei walked him downstairs. "Annie's body is not very good?" Wang Yao asked when they were going downstairs. He could see it in the house just now. Her breathing was short and rapid. She did not look very good. She was a little dispirited. Her eyes were dim, and there was not much light. "Yes, it's an old problem." "Hey, don't you know how to treat patients? Can you take a look at my mother?" "Let's wait until tomorrow. Annie should have taken her medicine tonight, right?" "Yes, she has to take her medicine every day after dinner, especially at night." "Then tell Annie that I'll come over tomorrow morning to take a look at her." "Okay, it's settled then." After watching Wang Yao leave, Tong Wei turned around and went upstairs. "Is that the young man who helped me in the hospital when I was hospitalized last time?" Tong Wei's mother asked after returning home. "Yes, that's him. He looks quite mature." "What does he do?" "Herb farming." "Okay." Tong Wei's parents did not comment much. Tong Wei told her mother that Wang Yao would come to take a look at her the next day. She asked her mother to wait at home tomorrow morning and not go out. Her mother also agreed. After returning home, Wang Yao's parents did not rest. His mother stopped him again and asked him a lot of questions. Did he go to the girl's house? How were her parents' attitudes? After a long time, she finally let Wang Yao go. After going up the hill, Wang Yao observed the sky for a while as usual. He read a scripture before turning off the lights and going to bed. The next morning, after finishing his work on the hill, he drove to the city to take a look at Tong Wei's mother. This was what they had agreed to do last night. When he walked to the middle of the village, where the brigade's house used to be, he saw the few people he saw last time. The village secretary and the director were looking at something with a middle-aged man who looked like a boss. There was also a black Mercedes-Benz parked by the road. The road in the village was not very wide. At most, one could drive at a time. The car was not parked very close to the side. Wang Yao drove very slowly. At the same time, he stopped the car because he saw the village secretary and the others looking at him. Chapter 142. The moment he rolled down the car window, he heard a sentence. "This location is okay." Uncle Wang Yao greeted. Yao, are you going out? Wang gently smiled. Yes. After greeting him, Wang Yao glanced at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man also glanced at him. Then he drove away. This was a chance encounter. From the rearview mirror, he could vaguely see that Wang gently had a smile on his face. It was a kind of flattering smile. Who is this person? What is he doing in the village? Different from the first time they met, Wang Yao was more careful this time. He arrived at Tong Wei's house before 9:30 a.m. Tong Wei and her mother were both at home. After sitting for a while, Wang Yao checked her mother's pulse. Tong Wei's mother's condition was not good. It was worse than Wang Yao had expected. Her meridians were not smooth, especially in her brain. It was very likely that she would have thrombosis again. Her spleen and stomach were weak, and her liver was not good. She had problems all over her body. Yes. After the diagnosis, Wang Yao was deep in thought. He was thinking about how to say it. He could not say it too harshly in case Tong Wei's mother was worried or unhappy. However, he had to say it because the problem was serious, especially in her head and liver. How is it? Tong Wei asked softly. Auntie's body is fine. Wang Yao hesitated for a while and said, but there are some things that you need to pay attention to. Then tell me in detail. Tong Wei poured him a glass of water. Auntie's blood vessels in her brain are not smooth enough. It's easy to have thrombosis. Wang Yao said this first while observing Tong Wei's mother's complexion. He did not find anything unusual. Yes, the doctor said the same when I had a checkup last time. Tong Wei's mother spoke very slowly. Her voice was weak because she did not have enough vital energy. Your spleen and stomach are not in harmony. It's not good for digestion. It's easy for you to get indigestion. Yes, it's not easy to digest the food I eat. I always feel like burping, Tong Wei's mother said. However, her expression was very calm. You often feel pain below your right rib, right? Yes. This is a sign of impaired liver function. You have mild cirrhosis, Wang Yao said. In fact, according to the results of his pulse, Tong Wei's mother's liver function was seriously damaged, and it was not as simple as cirrhosis. The liver was the detoxification organ of the human body and was quite important. Once it was damaged, the toxins in the human body could not be treated and eliminated in time. The toxins would accumulate in the body and, in turn, destroy the health of the body. Yes, first it was fatty liver, then it turned into cirrhosis. You've even performed a hepatectomy before. This was purely Wang Yao's personal guess. Girl, you told him about this? Tong Wei's mother turned to look at her daughter. Tong Wei, on the other hand, was stunned. You guessed it right, Wang Mingbao said. Last month, he suddenly had a lot of pain in his stomach. He went to the city hospital for a checkup and was told that his liver had a serious problem and needed to be removed. It was estimated that half of his liver had to be removed. Then, he went to the provincial hospital and was advised to remove 1/3 of his liver. Otherwise, his life would be in danger. He was scared silly. He did not dare to agree at that time, so he went to several other places, including Beijing. The advice given was similar, but the size of the liver was different. He is sick and does not listen to the doctor's advice. He doesn't know how to control himself and is afraid of treatment. It is only a matter of time before his condition worsens, Wang Yao said. Then, do you still want to see him? The experts from several big hospitals have already made their conclusions. Why should I see him? No. Wang Yao waved his hand and said, okay, then I'll reject it. Okay. By the way, have you been back to the village recently? I went back a few days ago. What's wrong? Wang Mingbao asked. In the past 2 days, I met the party secretary and a person who looked like a boss strolling around the village. They seem to have taken a fancy to the place where the brigade house is. I don't know where they are from, Wang Yao said. That's easy. I'll ask them right away. Wang Mingbao picked up the phone and made a call. Well, do you know what it is about? Well, okay. Sorry to trouble you. After a few words with the person on the other end, he hung up the phone. It's about investment. Investment in our village? What for? Wang Yao was curious. After all, the transportation in their village was not convenient. There were no natural resources or scenic spots. He could not think of any place worth investing in. I'm not sure yet. I have to wait. Okay, you go ahead. I'll go back first. Why don't you have dinner here before you leave? No, thanks. When Wang Yao returned home, it was already past 4 p.m. He did not go to Nanshan Hill. Instead, he stayed at home to help his mother cook. As soon as she saw Wang Yao, Zhang Xiuying asked, Tong Wei went back to Dao. Yes, she just left this afternoon. Why didn't you drive her home? I wanted to drive her home, but she didn't agree. She's a good girl. I've discussed it with your father. Let's settle it. Zhang Xiuying put down the work in her hands and looked up. Settle it? It's too rushed. Let's look around first, Wang Yao said with a smile. There's no rush. How old are you? You're 27. Zhang Xiuying said. Bao Zhe is the same age as me. He already has 2 children, Wang Yao said. I'm not going to talk nonsense with you. You better take this seriously. Do you hear me? I'm serious. I'm serious. During dinner, Wang Yao's father also mentioned this matter to him. It seemed that both of his parents liked Tong Wei and were very satisfied with her. He had to say that he would try his best. At night, after going up to Nanshan Hill, he opened the system to check the progress of the mission. Almost half of the 100-day period had passed. The number of people who were recognized had increased by a lot. He had an increase of 41 people. He did not know who they were, but he guessed that it was because he had been in contact with a lot of people during this period. Su Maosheng, Professor Liu, and Wang Fuming's family were all possible. It seems that I have to work harder, Wang Yao whispered to himself. This mission could not be completed if he did not go out and take the initiative to interact with people. This might be a disguised form of the system forcing him to go down the hill and show his ability. There's still half to go. After looking at the sky outside for a while, he went back into the house and recorded the condition of Tong Wei's mother in his notebook. The problem with her body was not in one place, but in many diseases. Some were primary, and some were secondary. This was also a common problem for the elderly. If the body was not in good condition, it needed to be adjusted and consolidated. If the blood flow in the brain was not smooth, it needed to be dredged, the blood circulation needed to be dredged, the intestines needed to be cleaned, and the liver needed to be calmed. There were many diseases, and each of them needed to be treated one by one. As far as Wang Yao knew, there was no medicine that could cure all diseases. I'd better start with consolidating the body first. Regather soup was the most widely used medicine that Wang Yao could decoct and provided by the system. It was suitable for almost all diseases. Even if it could not cure the root of the disease, it could strengthen the patient's body functions and make them better able to resist the disease. The herbs are not enough again. The next morning, the mountain wind was a bit cold. On the protruding rock on Nanshan Hill, a person was crossing his arms. It was as if he was pushing a ball back and forth. Buzz! There seemed to be a sound, but it seemed to disappear with the wind. A meridian was opened again. Wang Yao did not stop. He continued to practice boxing. After several rounds, he slowly stopped. Chapter 143. Look at the sky. It seems to be late spring. He stood on the top of the hill and looked at the slightly gloomy weather. He came down from the hill and entered the battle array that had been formed into a framework and auxiliary battle array. He only felt that the somewhat cold mountain wind seemed to be a lot less cold, and the wind was a lot weaker. This battle array also needs to be further supplemented and completed. At noon, on his way down the hill, he unexpectedly met a person, Wang Yao. Wang Yida, who had been in the police station for more than 10 days because he annoyed Wang Yao, turned into an alley after seeing Wang Yao from afar. He was afraid of this young man. Although he was a little rascal, he was not stupid. During the time he was detained in the police station, he suffered a lot of underwear, which also made him calm down and think clearly about the cause and effect. At that time, he realized that he was really a little muddle-headed. He only thought that Wang Yao was very soft at the beginning, so he thought that Wang Yao was kind and easy to bully. He did not expect that he would suffer a big loss later. As soon as he came out of the police station and did not go home, he was stopped by the village's defense team captain. Half of it was advice, and half of it was beating. Less than a day later, when he went out at night, he was put in a gunny sack and beaten up halfway. He was beaten up and almost fainted. After that, he went back to the village for a week. He went out a total of 3 times at night and was beaten up 3 times. He was so scared that he did not dare to go out at night. Only then did he know that he had provoked the wrong person. As a result, he directly avoided Wang Yao when he saw him. Can I avoid him even if I can't provoke him? Seeing this, Wang Yao just smiled. A wicked person would be tortured by another wicked person. It was good to let him suffer a little. After dinner, he went up the hill and began to decoct the Chinese medicine for Tong Wei's mother. He sat there quietly, looking at the multifunctional pot for herbs, not disturbed by the outside world. In just half an afternoon, the decoction was finished. More than half of the day's work had passed. On this day, on the internet, where there was all kinds of information, a post suddenly went viral. It was a photo. In the photo, a man was holding up a square rock above his hands. It was about the height of a person. Under the rock was a slightly pale, beautiful woman. The caption was, "The flower protector among the folk, 2 hands lifting a 1,000-kilogram rock." There were countless comments below. One look and I can tell it's fake, but the PS is pretty good. I can't see any signs of it being edited. That girl is quite pretty. Where did she come from? Bullsh * T expert. I can even lift a mountain with 1 hand. I'll send you a picture someday. It's true. I saw it with my own eyes. He's definitely an expert. High? How high? Other than the people who had seen Wang Yao's divine power with their own eyes, no one believed that this was real. However, this post and the picture were very popular. It also showed how developed the internet was and how many people were bored. Of course, Wang Yao didn't know about this because he usually didn't read these meaningless posts. He didn't know that he had become popular in an unconventional way. He was not in a hurry to deliver the medicine. When he came back from the foot of the mountain, he saw his father rushing out of the alley as soon as he arrived. "What's wrong, Dad? Drive to your Uncle Feng Long's house first. His child is sick and is in a hurry to go to the hospital." "Okay, I'll go right away." Wang Yao drove to the house of Wang Fenglong's uncle. Wang Fenglong and his wife had been waiting there for a long time. They were holding a child in their arms. He was only 4 or 5 years old. For some reason, he kept struggling and crying. He cried very hard. "Yao, go to the hospital quickly." "Okay." Wang Yao drove directly to Lianshan County. He drove at a relatively fast speed. "Uncle, what's wrong with Xiaoa? He suddenly had a stomachache in the afternoon a few days ago. The pain was very bad. The medicine didn't work," Wang Fenglong said. While driving, Wang Yao couldn't take a closer look at the child. He couldn't tell what was wrong with the child. However, the child kept crying in the car. It was obvious that the pain was very bad. "Yao, can you drive faster?" "Okay." Wang Yao stepped on the gas again. The car was like a black leopard on the road, speeding quickly. It didn't take long for them to arrive at the county hospital. They went directly to the emergency department. There were all kinds of examinations and tests. During this process, Wang Yao gave the child a checkup. The disease was in the intestines. However, the doctor couldn't tell what the cause was. The doctor on duty was very concerned. After a while, he asked a pediatrician on duty to help. Because the child kept crying, the doctor couldn't quickly find the cause in a hurry. "The disease is in the intestines. It may be intestinal intussusception," Wang Yao reminded him. Intestinal intussusception. The pediatrician picked up the ultrasound film and looked carefully. "That's possible. Do another ultrasound examination." It was another follow-up examination, and the child was still crying nonstop. This time, the results were more clear. It was basically confirmed that the child was intestinal intussusception. The emergency doctor and the pediatrician were stunned after the results of the film. They looked at Wang Yao with strange eyes. "Are you a doctor too?" "Kind of. Hurry up and treat the child." "Well, yes. Because it was discovered early, the child didn't need to be treated." The process was smooth. In the end, the child was better, but his little face was a little pale. He didn't have much spirit. The doctor still suggested that he stay in the hospital for a day to see if there were any other problems. Wang Yao helped with the hospitalization procedures. When they entered the ward, the child was tired from crying and fell asleep. His parents stayed by his side. "Thank you, Yao," Wang Fenglong said. "You know how to treat illnesses?" Today, it was thanks to Wang Yao that his son was sent to the hospital in time and pointed out the cause of the illness. His son received treatment in time and didn't suffer much. I know a little. Wang Yao nodded. Seeing that it was almost settled, Wang Yao looked at the time. It was already 9 o'clock at night. Uncle, Auntie, if there's nothing else, I'll go back first. There's no hurry. You haven't had dinner yet, right? Let's go out and eat something together, Wang Fenglong said. No, I'll go back and eat. Wang Yao waved his hand, got up and walked out. As soon as he reached the door of the ward, he met the emergency doctor on duty. Hello, has the child been arranged? The doctor asked Wang Yao. Yes, he just fell asleep. Thank you, doctor. Wang Yao said, since he came to the hospital and the emergency department, this emergency doctor had been very attentive and responsible. It's my pleasure. How should I address you? Wang Yao. Yao as in Yao Yao. Hello, I'm Pan Jun. Hello. Wang Yao looked at the tall and fat man in front of him. At first glance, he felt that the man was a member of a gang. With his appearance, he could play a villain in a movie without makeup. Ordinary people would be afraid of him. No one would associate such a person with the profession of doctor. Are you also a doctor? Pan Jun said. He had a deep impression of Wang Yao. Wang Yao, who looked quite handsome, was able to point out the cause of the child's illness with just a few words. It saved them a lot of trouble and saved the child a lot of pain. This skill was not something that ordinary people could have. No. Wang Yao shook his head with a smile. No? Then how do you know the cause of the child's illness? Pan Jun asked in surprise. I'm a pharmacist, Wang Yao said. Pharmacist. No. Wang Yao shook his head with a smile. He did not want to continue to explain. However, he did not expect Pan Jun to say something that surprised him. An ancient pharmacist? Pan Jun asked tentatively. Yes, you know. Really? Good at treating all kinds of difficult and complicated diseases? Pan Jun also read it from a medical book. It was the name of an ancient doctor. Yes. Wang Yao nodded. But I don't have that ability for the time being. Pan Jun was stunned and did not speak for a long time. Ring. Buzz. Suddenly, the phone in his pocket rang. He picked up the phone. There was someone looking for him. It sounded urgent. It should be another patient in the emergency room. The emergency room could be said to be the busiest place in the entire hospital. It would encounter all kinds of patients. Can you give me your contact information? Pan Jun asked. Okay. After they exchanged contact information, Pan Jun left in a hurry. Yao, why haven't you left yet? Wang Fenglong came out to get hot water and saw Wang Yao was still in the corridor. He went forward and asked. Nothing. I just met someone and talked for a while. I'll go first. Call me if you need anything. Hey, be careful on the road. Got it. It was already past 10 p.m. when Wang Yao drove home. Seeing that the lights at home were still on, he knew that his parents were still worried about him. He did not go up the hill, but went straight home. He told his parents about the hospital and went to sleep at home. He did not go to Nanshan Hill. The next morning, he woke up very early. He first went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. After he had eaten, he put the breakfast in the pot for his parents. Then, he quietly went up Nanshan Hill to take care of the herbal field and practice on the top of the hill. After he was done with everything, he looked at the time and decided to go to town. The decoction for Tong Wei's mother was ready. He wanted to send it to her. After arriving in Lianshan Hill, he first went to the supermarket to buy some gifts. Then, he went to Tong Wei's home. Wang Yao took the gifts and decoction upstairs. Coincidentally, Tong Wei's parents were at home. Uncle, Auntie, Wang Yao is here. Sit down. Tong Wei's parents saw that he had come. Their attitude was quite warm. It's fine that you're here. Why did you bring so many gifts? Both of Tong Wei's parents had retired. Her father used to be the deputy director of a bureau. His retirement salary was quite high. Her family did not lack such things. However, if Wang Yao came empty-handed, her parents would blame him for not knowing how to handle the matter, even if they didn't say it out loud. Auntie, you look good today. I'm fine. I woke up this morning and went out for a walk, Tong Wei's mother said with a smile. Come and have some tea. Thank you, Uncle. Wang Yao took the tea. He then took out the decoction he had decocted and put on the table. Chapter 144. Auntie, this is the decoction I made. Try it and see how it works, Wang Yao said. Okay, Tong Wei's mother replied with a smile. She didn't say anything else. She didn't seem to talk much. Take it warm. Drink 1 cup of tea each time. Finish it within 3 days. Just as they were talking, the doorbell rang again. Another guest came. Wang Yao knew the person who came. It was his classmate, Yang Ming. He also came with gifts. When he saw Wang Yao, he was very surprised. Obviously, he didn't expect to see Wang Yao here. Wang Yao, what a coincidence. Wang Yao stood up and smiled. It was a bit awkward to meet here. Xiaoyang is here. Come and sit down. Tong Wei's mother stood up and said, Ah, Auntie, you look much better. I brought you some donkey hide gelatin to nourish your body, Yang Ming said. How many times have I told you not to bring anything when you come? Tong Wei's mother smiled. Wang Yao could feel that she was more enthusiastic about Yang Ming than he was. Do you know each other? Tong Wei's father asked. Yes, we are classmates. We were in the same class as Tong Wei. Wang Yao was the top student in the class. Yang Ming said, Really? What a coincidence. Wang Yao is kind enough to bring you a decoction. Decoction? Yang Ming was stunned. Yes, he made it himself, Tong Wei's mother said. He made himself? Wang Yao, didn't you study biology in university? When did you know how to make decoctions? Yang Ming asked doubtfully. I learned it last year. In this regard, Wang Yao was very calm and calm. Last year, Tong Wei's parents frowned. They thought Wang Yao was a medical student, so they asked him to make the decoction. They didn't expect him to be a biology student. He only learned how to make the decoction last year. So far, it had only been a year. What could he have learned in such a short time? Treating patients and prescribing medicine? Wasn't this nonsense? You only started learning last year. Can you do it? Yang Ming asked with a smile. Although he didn't show it on the surface, he was very happy in his heart. He was even gloating. These days, he had been chasing after Tong Wei. He even went to Dao City several times. However, the other party was always very cold to him. However, Yang Ming didn't give up. On the contrary, he became braver with every setback. He wisely chose to change his strategy and started working with Tong Wei's parents. When he was free, he would come over. Every time he would bring gifts. If it wasn't for Tong Wei's mother, he would bring some wood carvings and the like for her father. Moreover, he was good at talking and coaxed the 2 elders quite happily. When he saw Wang Yao here today, he knew that his old classmate was most likely here for Tong Wei. Tong Wei was his love rival. Therefore, from the moment he entered the door, he was thinking of a way to make himself look better in front of Tong Wei's parents and make Wang Yao give up his unrealistic thoughts about Tong Wei. He didn't expect that this method would be delivered to him. Although biology and medicine are somewhat related, they are actually very far apart. He only studied for a year, and he dares to make decoctions. What is the meaning of this? Is he experimenting on Tong Wei's mother? Yang Ming thought. Although he thought so, he didn't say it out loud. He knew that some things were just as bad as not enough. No problem. Wang Yao's tone was very calm, but it revealed a considerable amount of confidence. No problem. Auntie, if you are worried, you can try it first, Wang Yao suggested. Okay, Tong Wei's mother just responded. Although Tong Wei's living room was very big and the ventilation was good, the atmosphere was quite awkward. Uncle, Auntie, I have something to do. I'll leave first. Wang Yao felt that there was nothing to say if he continued to stay there. He might not be liked by Tong Wei's parents, so he simply said goodbye and left. Why don't you stay for lunch? Tong Wei's mother just asked. Of course. Wang Yao didn't believe her. After he rejected her, he went downstairs and drove away. He was still at Tong Wei's house, trying to make a deeper impression. Wang Yao didn't know why, but he suddenly felt a little bored. He directly drove home. When he returned to Nanshan Hill, he calmed down and recited a Taoist scripture. Then, he leaned on the chair and looked outside through the open window. He looked until the sky gradually darkened. Then, he came back to his senses and went down the hill to eat. At night, he unexpectedly received a call from Tian Yuan-tu. It was a little urgent, and he asked if he was free tomorrow. After asking, Wang Yao found out that Secretary Yang's mother's cold phobia disease suddenly acted up again. This made Secretary Yang very anxious, so he called Tian Yuan too and hoped that he could find Wang Yao and invite him over. How about tomorrow? Okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow. After lunch, Wang Yao went back to Nanshan Hill. He started a fire again and prepared to decoct a decoction to treat Secretary Yang's mother the next day. Her disease was caused by the cold that entered the depths of her organs and destroyed the foundation of her body. A few days ago, she used regather soup to recover some of her vitality, but it didn't cure the root cause. Once the effect of the decoction disappeared, the disease naturally acted up again. It would be troublesome and long-winded to get to know these high-ranking officials and dignitaries. Wang Yao was mentally prepared for this. The next morning, Tian Yuan came very early. Wang Yao had just finished practicing, so he went up the hill. The two of them set off from a mountain village and rushed all the way to a quiet building and hike. This was not Secretary Yang's residence. It was more like a club. Here, Wang Yao saw the tycoon of hike again. His mother was a slightly thin and kind old woman. It was already spring. The northern cities had already stopped heating, but the room was still very warm. The air conditioner was on. Even so, the old woman was still wearing a down jacket. Obviously, she was extremely afraid of the cold. There was no one else in the room except for the mother and son. Secretary Yang didn't even bring his secretary. Auntie, Yuan too is here. This is the doctor who prescribed the decoction for you. Hello, my name is Wang Yao. I wanted to thank you for a long time. Sit down and stand aside. Hai Chuan, pour some water, the old woman said to Secretary Yang. You don't have to. I'll do it, Tian Yuan hurriedly said. Wang Yao also got up and poured himself some water. What a joke. How shameless would it be to ask a municipal party secretary to pour water? After sitting down and chatting for a while, Wang Yao found that Secretary Yang's mother was short of breath. She didn't have enough strength to speak. She was not in good health and had insufficient vitality. Let me check your pulse. Okay. Wang Yao was secretly shocked when he felt her pulse. This pulse was very floaty. If the pulse was not solid, it meant that the body was not well. If the pulse was floaty, it would be vague. That was a strange pulse, a symptom of incurable disease. This pulse already had some signs of flying fish pulse. The pulse was on the skin. The head was fixed and the tail was shaking. This was the disease of extreme yin. The yin and yang in the body were extremely out of balance. The yang was insufficient and the yin was extremely strong. It was precisely because of this that the patient was extremely afraid of the cold. After the diagnosis, Wang Yao was lost in thought. This old woman's disease was completely different from the disease of Mr. Sun, who he had seen in Dao a few days ago. Although the yin and yang in the body were out of balance, one was extreme yang, while the other was extreme yin. Therefore, the idea of treatment should be similar. Seeing that Wang Yao was lost in thought, Secretary Yang asked softly, How is it, Dr. Wang? This disease has to be treated as soon as possible. It can't be delayed, Wang Yao said. Does Dr. Wang have a way to treat it? Secretary Yang asked. He also knew that his mother's disease was getting worse and worse. Over the years, he had invited many famous doctors, but there was no good effect. Wang Yao's medicine was the best. Let me think about it, Wang Yao said. This disease was strange and serious. Although Wang Yao had a certain understanding of this strange disease because he had met Mr. Sun last time and had come up with a preliminary plan, extreme yin and extreme yang were only similar in pathology. In terms of medication, there was a world of difference. It was a completely different process. Here is a medicine that can temporarily relieve Auntie's disease. Wang Yao took out the prepared regather soup. I need to think about the detailed treatment plan carefully. Okay. Secretary Yang took the medicine. The diagnosis was over. Next, Secretary Yang's mother asked Wang Yao some things very kindly. It made him feel that aside from her son's prominent identity, she was just an ordinary, warm-hearted old woman, like the elders in his village. At noon, Secretary Yang asked them to stay for lunch. Wang Yao didn't feel very comfortable eating this meal. After lunch, Wang Yao and Tian Yuan drove back. On the way, Tian Yuanu asked about Secretary Yang's mother's illness again. Is Auntie's illness very serious? Very serious. It's more serious than I thought before coming here. It's almost incurable, Wang Yao said. Tian Yuantu's face became very dignified. He was very concerned about Secretary Yang's mother's illness. It was not only because Secretary Yang was in a high position and they were friends, but also because the elder took good care of him. In his eyes, she was already a family member. Are you sure? You won't know until you try, Wang Yao said. After all, he had never encountered this disease and didn't have much experience. As a pharmacist, knowledge was an essential foundation, but experience was also important, and it couldn't be gained quickly. In fact, her illness is very similar to Mr. Sun's. It's just that one is extreme yin and the other is extreme yang. Her illness is slightly less serious. Then I'll have to trouble you. Don't be so polite. I'll try my best, Wang Yao said with a smile. Chapter 145. After returning to Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao recorded the results of the diagnosis in his notebook. At the same time, he wrote down the preliminary treatment plan that he had thought of. He was thinking while writing, how to treat, what kind of herbs to use, and how to mix them. He didn't stop to rest until 4 p.m. When it was close to evening, he walked around Nanshan Hill again. The trees that had been planted a while ago were growing very well. The leaves had already sprouted. It was a piece of tender green. The entire mountain seemed to have gained a bit of vitality and greenery. Chirp, chirp, chirp. A few birds flew over from a distance. Caw. A chirp in the sky scared the birds away quickly. Since the goshawk came to the mountain, there were basically no birds here. Wang Yao went down from the top of the mountain after practicing his boxing for a while. He found that San Xian was carefully sniffing something in the herbal field. Ever since he had planted the herbs, the intelligent dog had been very careful when entering the herbal field. He was afraid that he would step on the herbs. San Xian, did you find any pests? San Xian turned around and looked at Wang Yao after hearing what he said, then shook his head. It's good that you didn't find any. Maybe it had something to do with them? Wang Yao looked at the miasma grass that had just sprouted from the ground. The leaves were dark green, but they were very hard and straight, like small swords. San Xian, what does this herb smell like? Wang Yao smiled and pointed to the miasma grass that had just sprouted. Hey, what do you mean by that look? Wang Yao smiled and bent down. He sniffed carefully. He didn't smell anything particularly unpleasant. Instead, there was a faint fragrance. It smells good. Isn't there fragrance? Poop picker, are you stupid? The dog's eyes should have revealed that meaning. In the evening, Wang Yao went home for dinner and found 2 gifts on the table. There were cigarettes and wine. Who's here? Your Uncle Feng Long. He said he came to thank you, Zhang Xiuying said. Just come. You don't have to bring gifts. They are from relatives and friends. I didn't accept them. He was unhappy. He said it was thanks to you that the child suffered less. Still hospitalized? He's already back. It's fine. He even came over with his father just now. He's bouncing around. He's quite likable. It's good that you're okay. Dinner was served on the table, but Wang Fenghua was still nowhere to be seen. Where did my dad go? I went out for a stroll. I should be back soon. While they were talking, Wang Yao's father slowly came back from outside. Let's eat. During the meal, Wang Fenghua said something. The village's brigade house had been rented out, and they were preparing to set up a processing factory. Do you know what to process? Wang Yao had known about this for a long time, but he didn't know the specifics. Even Wang Mingbao didn't know about this yet, which made Wang Yao a little surprised. After all, his father's identity was there. No one would believe that the mayor of a town didn't know about the content of the new project in town. It could only be explained that his father was too busy with work and didn't have time to take care of this small matter. It seems to be mechanical processing. Today, I'm just looking for someone to clean up the few houses. Mechanical processing? Why did you come to this ravine? The next morning, several trucks drove into the mountain village, followed by forklifts and cranes. A set of processing equipment was unloaded from the trucks and transported to the idle brigade. What's this? I don't know. Maybe it's a small processing factory? Is it hiring? The villagers gathered outside the brigade house and talked about it. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao received an unexpected phone call. It was the doctor from the emergency room in the county hospital, Pan Jun, whom he had met a few days ago. Pan Jun's reason for calling him surprised him. He had encountered a relatively special patient and asked if he could see him. He would pay him a house call fee. The location was not the county hospital, but an outpatient clinic. A doctor from the county hospital invited him to see a patient. Wang Yao thought about it and agreed. He made an appointment with Pan Jun the next morning. In the village, the people in the brigade house, which was rented by an unknown foreign processing company, were still busy. More and more equipment was transported in. They connected power lines and laid pipes. They were busy until late at night. At about 9 a.m. the next morning, Wang Yao arrived at the outpatient clinic that he had made an appointment with Pan Jun in advance. The outpatient clinic was located in a few residential areas. It had a very popular name, Renha Outpatient Clinic. Pan Jun had been waiting there for a long time. When he saw Wang Yao get out of the car, he was slightly surprised. This car isn't cheap, he thought to himself. Hello, Dr. Pan, Wang Yao said with a smile. Please come in. He invited Wang Yao into the clinic. The clinic was divided into 2 floors. The first floor was used to collect medicine, and there were several separate partitions. There were doctors in each partition. Many people came to see the patients. Wang Yao found that most of the doctors who came to see the patients were old doctors. They should have been hired after retirement. Pan Jun invited Wang Yao into a separate reception room. There was no one inside. Please sit down, Pan Jun said as he made tea for him. Have some tea. Thank you. Wait for a moment. The patient will be here soon, Pan Jun said. No hurry. This clinic is opened by a friend of mine. If I have time, I will come back to help. Before Wang Yao asked, Pan Jun took the initiative to introduce him. In fact, the reason why he invited Wang Yao to come was that he had heard the unfamiliar word pharmacist. After he went home, he flipped through the medical books and knew that the ancient pharmacists were not ordinary. In addition, Wang Yao had inadvertently shown his ability that day. He became curious about Wang Yao. Coincidentally, he met an old patient in the clinic. The patient's illness was a bit strange. He had been to the hospital, but the results were not very good. He came with an attitude of trying his luck. However, some of the retired doctors did not have a good solution. He suddenly thought of Wang Yao, so he invited him to come. If Wang Yao could cure him, it would be best. If he could not, it did not matter. He did not lose anything here. Dr. Pan, they are here. After waiting for less than 10 minutes, a young nurse knocked on the door and came in. Dr. Pan, they are here. Okay. Dr. Wang, please come with me. Pan Jun took him to a separate office. There were tables, chairs, a computer, a stethoscope, and so on. Why don't we treat him here? Okay, I'll give it a try, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay, I'll invite him in. After a while, Pan Jun came in with an old man who looked to be in his 70s. His back was slightly hunched. His hair and beard were white, and he did not look very good. Accompanying the old man was a middle-aged woman who was dressed very westernly. Dr. Pan, is this the doctor? After seeing Wang Yao's young and handsome face, the middle-aged woman was stunned for a while. She turned to ask Pan Jun, who was beside her. She was obviously a little angry. What kind of illness can such a young doctor treat? She thought to herself, although Dr. Wang is young, his medical skills are extraordinary. Why don't you let him take a look at Andy? Pan Jun said. In fact, he did not have much confidence in his words. After all, he did not know how good Wang Yao was. Shall we take a look, Mom? The middle-aged woman asked her mother softly. Okay, since you're here, let's take a look. The old woman smiled and sat down. I'll take your pulse. As soon as Wang Yao said that, the mother and daughter were stunned again. Take my pulse. You? The middle-aged woman asked directly. From her expression, it was clear that she did not believe him. After all, Wang Yao was so young. To some extent, Chinese medicine practitioners were more popular the older they were. It was common for an old Chinese medicine practitioner to treat patients in his 70s. It was rare for a young man in his 20s to take a pulse and treat a patient. Yes, Wang Yao replied with a smile. Okay. The old woman stretched out her hand. It was a little dry. Wang Yao touched her hand. Headache and insomnia? He asked softly. Yes, the old woman said. Gastrointestinal discomfort and vomiting easily when eating? Yes, it's been particularly bad these few days. Okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. Your illness is not serious. I'll prescribe you some medicine. Really? The old woman just smiled. No need, Mom. Let's go. The middle-aged woman's face was full of unhappiness. Today's trip was a waste. Although it was very close, she was in a bad mood. She felt that Pan Jun was lying to her. Pan Jun's face was also not good. He did not expect this result. He was very disappointed. After all, he invited Pan Jun himself. He could only swallow the bitterness in his stomach. Dr. Pan, can I trouble you to ask the woman to come over alone? I have something to tell her just now. Wang Yao said to Pan Jun as if he did not see the embarrassed expression on Pan Jun's face. Okay. After Pan Jun went out, he found that the woman had helped his mother to the door of the clinic. He hurriedly walked a few steps and stopped them. Sister Gua, please wait for a moment. I have something to talk to you about in private, Pan Jun said. What is it? You see, let Annie sit and wait for a moment. We'll talk over there. Okay, Mom. Please sit here and wait for me. The middle-aged woman walked to the side with Pan Jun. What is it? Dr. Wang wants to talk to you alone, said Wang Yao. Him? Forget it. The middle-aged woman frowned slightly. She had a contemptuous look on her face. He's so young. He's deliberately mystifying by taking people's pulse. Dr. Pan, why did you invite such a person? Don't tell me you were fooled by him? The woman, surnamed Gui, asked. Ha! Pan Jun just laughed awkwardly. I'm sorry to have made you and Auntie come here for nothing. It's okay. Anyway, it's not very far from here. Just take it as a walk. Let's go. Oh, okay. Pan Jun sent the mother and daughter out and returned to Wang Yao's room. Chapter 146. They've gone far, Pan Jun said. Forget it then. Wang Yao smiled. From the reaction of the mother and daughter just now, he knew that they didn't trust him. After all, he was too young. If they hadn't experienced it themselves, they wouldn't have believed that a doctor at such a young age had extraordinary medical skills. Those who had extraordinary skills at such a young age usually only appeared in novels and movies. Pan Jun, Dr. Pan, was probably 30% trusting and 70% doubtful of him. If it weren't for the fact that the mission in the system was difficult to complete, he wouldn't have come here. If you see Ms. Gua again, tell her that she should take her mother to a hospital that specializes in neurology. Her mother suffers from paranoia. She tends to overthink and suffer from insomnia at night. Don't let her stay at home alone all the time. Take her out more often to keep her in a good mood, said Wang Yao. Why didn't you say that just now? Pan Jun was stunned. He knew about Ms. Gua's mother's condition. She suffered from insomnia at night. As for paranoia, he had never heard her mention it. I didn't think she would believe me, so I didn't say much, Wang Yao said with a smile. He didn't say it just now because he was a little angry and aloof. You're a patient and I'm a doctor. If you believe me, I'll do my best. If you don't believe me, there's no point in saying more. Hey, that's a good thing, Pan Jun said as he clapped his hands. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first, Wang Yao said as he got up. Don't rush. Look, it's already past 10 p.m. Let's have dinner together later. I'm sorry to make you come here for nothing. It's okay. I have other things to do. I won't stay. Although Pan Jun tried to persuade him to stay, Wang Yao still drove away. Pan, who is this young man? An old doctor asked. An interesting guy. Pan Jun smiled bitterly. He saw the illness, but didn't say anything. Well, he's probably afraid that he saw wrongly. Hey, since he saw it, can he treat it? The old doctor asked. Being able to see the cause of the illness was a skill. Being able to prescribe the right medicine and treat the illness was even better. F***. Look at my brain, I forgot to ask about this. Pan Jun patted his head hard. I'll call him later and ask him. After leaving Rinha Clinic, Wang Yao didn't rush home. Instead, he drove to Wang Mingbao's place. After seeing Wang Yao, Wang Mingbao teased him with a smile. Hey, are you free these days? Aren't you enjoying your immortal life on the mountain? I had some matters to attend to in the city, so I dropped by to take a look. Looking at your radiant face, you're getting more and more nourished, Wang Yao said with a smile. Wang Mingbao's complexion was good. From a certain point of view, good complexion not only referred to the body, but also meant good luck. Come, try this tea. Wang Mingbao poured a cup of tea for Wang Yao. I went to Fujian a few days ago and brought back some white tea. During this period, Wang Yao had drunk a lot of good tea. After drinking a lot, he could taste some of the tea's essence. By the way, the factory that you mentioned last time is rented in our village. It's a mechanical processing project, Wang Mingbao said. The boss has some connections with the leaders in the county. Mechanical processing? Connections with the leaders? Why would he need to go to a valley where transportation is not very convenient? Wang Yao said with a smile. In his impression, only companies that needed local resources or had ulterior motives would go to a place where transportation was not convenient to set up a factory. Why? Do you suspect that there's something wrong with this factory? No, I'm just curious. It's best if there's nothing wrong with it. Wang Yao said. After sitting at Wang Mingbao's place for a while, he said goodbye and left. On the way, he brought 2 buckets of white tea home. When he passed by the factory, Wang Yao stopped to take a look. It was still abnormally busy inside. He could vaguely see a black pipe with a diameter of about 30 centimeters next to the factory. What does he want to do with this pipe? After returning home for dinner, he went up to Nanshan Hill to record the symptoms of Ms. Guo's mother. He now had 2 notebooks to record the symptoms of Ms. Guo's mother. One of them was a difficult disease, and the other was a relatively common disease. He planned to use different methods to treat them. For example, he could use licorice roots to treat difficult diseases. After all, licorice roots had illegal effects. However, to treat common diseases, he had to use some common herbs as much as possible. While he was busy, he received a call. It was from Pan Jun. He asked if he could treat Ms. Guo's mother's illness. If she agrees, I can give it a try. I'll contact her as soon as possible. Okay. Relatively speaking, Ms. Guo's mother's illness was not very serious. It was relatively easy to treat. When Wang Yao was having dinner at home in the evening, Pan Jun called again. He said that Ms. Guo had agreed to give it a try. He asked when Wang Yao was free. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Wang Yao set the time. What's the matter? Wang Yao's mother asked. I'm going to see a patient, Wang Yao said after hanging up the phone. Hey, you don't have a medical qualification certificate, right? We'll be fine. As Ms. Guo's mother, she thought more carefully. It's fine. Don't worry. On this point, Wang Yao was very careful. After returning to Nanshan Hill, he first prepared some herbs to decoct the medicine the next day. The prescription he prepared was a simplified version of enchantment. He reduced the dosage of the most important Yuehua herb by half and adjusted the dosage of several common herbs. After preparing the herbs, he read a volume of scriptures. Then, he turned off the lights and went to sleep. The next morning, the sky was a little gloomy. Wang Yao decocted a dose of medicine in his cottage and poured it into a white porcelain bottle. He suddenly realized that his cottage seemed to be missing a very important thing: the medicine cabinet. It was also known as the Chinese medicine cabinet or the 7-star chest of drawers. It was used to store all kinds of Chinese medicine. It was easy to find the medicine and convenient to take it out. Although the storage space provided by the system could play a corresponding role, first, the number was limited. Second, it was too wasteful to use it. The storage space was mainly used to store some precious things, such as the prescriptions provided by the system, the ancient spring pot, and licorice roots. This medicine cabinet, if he wanted to buy it, he had to buy a good one. Although Wang Yao was in the industry, he did not have the connections. However, the people he knew should know, such as Li Maoshuang. He called Li Maoshuang, and Li Maoshuang only said one sentence. I'll take care of it. One word, happy. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao went down the hill and drove to Lianshan County. Is he not here yet? In Lianshan County, in Renhe Clinic, the woman surnamed Guo had said 3 times. She seemed to be worried that the person she was waiting for might not come in the afternoon. Her mood at the moment was completely different from when she came yesterday. When she saw Wang Yao yesterday, she was full of disdain, contempt, and dissatisfaction. How could such a young man be an excellent doctor? He couldn't even be called a qualified doctor. Then, Pan Jun's phone call made her very surprised. It turned out that the young doctor she looked down on had seen her mother's illness in the clinic. He just did not say it because of her attitude. Pan Jun said that her mother's illness was almost exactly the same as her mother's. This made her a little annoyed. If only I had more patience at that time. After learning that the young doctor could cure her mother's illness, she immediately asked Pan Jun to invite the doctor again. She was willing to pay the consultation fee. Could it be that he is angry and will not come? Don't worry. He said he will come. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. Pan Jun smiled. The two of them waited in the clinic. Sister Gua, I have one more question. Based on your condition, why don't you take your mother to a big hospital nearby to have a look? Pan Jun asked. Isn't it because I don't want my mother to be suspicious? Ms. Gua sighed. It's not that I haven't tried. I took her to the county hospital for a checkup, and she muttered for more than a week. She thought that she had a serious illness and wanted to send her old clothes away. If she went to a big hospital, it would be terrible. That's true, Pan Jun said. In fact, the older a person was, the more afraid of death. However, as they got older, the body's various functions began to deteriorate, and various diseases began to appear. This was the law of nature. Some things would happen even if you wanted to. While the two of them were waiting anxiously, Wang Yao drove from afar. If you had come any later, we would have gone to look for you. Pan Jun and Ms. Gua came out of the clinic to welcome him. Sorry, something delayed me, Wang Yao said with a smile. Dr. Wang, it was my fault yesterday. I'm sorry for offending you. Ms. Gua apologized. It's okay. Wang Yao waved his hand. He could understand her distrust of Wang Yao. Let's go in and talk. Sure. After entering the clinic, they went into an office and talked about Ms. Gua's illness. This time, Wang Yao was the one talking while they listened. Actually, Auntie's illness can be understood as a form of paranoia. She likes to think about things when she has nothing to do. She likes to mutter. It's easy for her to lose sleep at night. When she can't sleep, it's easier for her to think about things. This is also because some of the body's functions have begun to deteriorate as she gets older. It's not particularly serious. Yes, she likes to mutter. Recently, she has been very suspicious and thinking about things blindly, Ms. Gua said. Her illness is not particularly serious, Wang Yao said. You should spend more time with her and take her out for a walk. She should feel better and more relaxed. This will help her recover. Hey, Dr. Wang, do you have any other good ideas? If you trust me, I'll give it a try. Wang Yao was not in a hurry to agree. I trust you. I trust you, Ms. Gua hurriedly said. That's good. I made a medicine. Let Annie take it first and see how it works. Wang Yao took out the medicine he had brewed in advance. Take it warm within 3 days. About a teacup each time. Okay, thank you. How much is it? There's no rush. We'll see if it works, Wang Yao said. Chapter 147. Okay, I'll have to trouble you. Sorry for making you come again. From the beginning to the end, Madame Gua had a smile on her face. After all, she was asking for help this time. In her opinion, as long as her mother's illness could be cured, a smile was nothing. After a few more words, Madame Gua said goodbye and left. At the same time, she left 100 yuan as a deposit. In fact, even at this moment, she still half believed in Wang Yao's ability, especially the medicine he prescribed. However, since he had said so much, she decided to give it a try for her mother. At worst, she would drink a little at the beginning and immediately stop the medicine once she noticed any abnormalities. Thank you for your trouble this time. This is a little thank you. As Pan Jun spoke, he took out a red envelope from his pocket and handed it to Wang Yao. Regardless of whether the treatment this time was effective or not, he decided to make a friend. No hurry. It won't be too late to take it when it's effective. Wang Yao smiled and pushed it back. He was not being aloof. He also knew that whether it was Madame Gua who had just left or Dr. Pan Jun who was sitting in front of him at this moment, they were at most half believing in his ability. Even if he wanted to take the money, he would have to wait until they were convinced. In fact, he did not particularly care about the money, but the clinic of Pan Jun's friend was an excellent platform for him to complete his task. As an outpatient clinic, naturally, he could meet a lot of patients. As long as he could treat a few patients consecutively and gain the trust of Pan Jun and the patients, then his task of treating 100 patients in 100 days could be completed better. Don't go back at noon. Let's have lunch together. Okay. Wang Yao looked at the time and did not refuse again. The first time was polite, the second time was modesty. The third time, or more, would make the other party feel that he was not giving him face and did not want to be friends with him. During lunch, Pan Jun also invited his first friend. The three of them were not familiar with each other. Wang Yao and Pan Jun were only acquaintances, so they did not talk much. Pan Jun and his other friend did not seem to be particularly good at talking. As he was driving, Wang Yao did not drink, so the meal was finished relatively quickly. After dinner, he drove straight home. Which hospital does he work in? Pan Jun's friend asked curiously after Wang Yao left. He doesn't work in the hospital. You're not in the hospital? You're opening your own clinic? That's not it. Didn't he just say that he's at home? You went to your clinic? It's not my clinic. It's my sister's clinic. Is that different? On the way into the village, Wang Yao saw an old man in his 70s squatting on the side of the road while clutching his chest. He looked like he was in great pain. He hurriedly stopped the car nearby and walked up to him. Her face was pale, and her forehead was covered in sweat from the pain. Andy, what's wrong? He knew most of the people from the same village. She was also an elder. My chest hurts. The old man's breathing quickened. Is there anyone in your house? Yes, my son is at home. Please wait here for a moment. Wang Yao hurriedly entered the woman's house and found her son. Then, the two of them ran out together. Mom, what's wrong? The middle-aged man was also very anxious. My chest hurts. Hurry up and go to the hospital, Wang Yao said. He put his hand on the woman's chest. The old woman had a myocardial infarction, and it was very serious. This kind of disease was acute. It could endanger the patient's life in a short period of time. I'll call an ambulance right away. Auntie, please lie down slowly first. Wang Yao helped the old woman lie down. Don't you have any medicine at home? Like quick-acting cardio-relieving pills or something like that? Wang Yao asked the middle-aged man. Yes, I'll go get it right away. The middle-aged man hurriedly ran back and rushed out with a bottle of medicine in a moment. Where's the water? I forgot. The middle-aged man ran back again. After taking the medicine, the old woman's pain didn't immediately ease. Wang Yao didn't have a good solution for this in a short period of time. Waiting was very long, especially when this kind of waiting was related to life and death. The ambulance arrived slowly. Wang Yao helped the old woman into the ambulance. This old woman has a myocardial infarction. He didn't forget to remind the doctor who came to the ambulance. It's you? The accompanying medical staff seemed to know Wang Yao. Huh? Wang Yao was stunned by the question. At the scene of the car accident last time, the person you said had abdominal bleeding, the medical staff said. Oh, it's me. This old woman's situation is very urgent. Sorry to trouble you. We'll do our best. The ambulance left in a hurry. Shally, do you know the person just now? Yes, the last car accident was quite serious. There was a person with abdominal bleeding. It was he who saw it first and saved a lot of trouble. If he had arrived a little later, that person's life might have been in danger. Really? Which hospital does he work in? I don't know about that. What did he say about the patient's condition just now? Myocardial infarction. I'll contact the department right away and ask them to make the necessary preparations. The doctor in charge of the reception made a phone call to communicate with the hospital first. After hanging up the phone, he suddenly asked the middle-aged man beside him, Your mother has a history of heart disease? Yes, angina pectoris. The young man, just now, is from your village. Which hospital does he work in? I'm not sure. After thinking for a while, he answered. When did he become a doctor? This was what he wanted to say at first, but he swallowed it back when it was at the tip of his tongue. In fact, he was not really familiar with Wang Yao. One lived in the north of the village, and the other lived in the south of the village. At most, they met and knew each other. At the beginning, he knew Wang Yao because he was a famous university student in the village who had been admitted to a famous university in the country. Later, he returned to the village after graduation to Baoshan. The most famous thing was that Baoshan committed suicide by jumping into the river after losing money. After that, there was a period of silence. Recently, there were more rumors about him. This young man, who didn't show up in the village and rarely even showed up in the village, was said to stay in Nanshan all day long, unwittingly became a famous person in the village, which confirmed those few words. He was not in the underworld, but there were legends about him in the underworld. It was not a legend, it was gossip. After the old man was sent to the hospital, because of the targeted examination, he was hospitalized and received treatment much faster. He was temporarily out of danger. His son and family also breathed sighs of relief. The situation today is too dangerous. What should I do if I encounter such a situation again? What if it's my family? At this time, Wang Yao, who was on Nanshan Hill, was also thinking about this problem. He could cure diseases and prepare medicine to treat some rare and strange diseases, but it took time. Some urgent diseases could not wait. Moreover, it was not convenient to carry decoctions, even if he had the system. Imagine if a person suddenly had a disease. You could ask him to take a few pills or use injections, but you had never seen anyone magically take out a bowl of decoction and ask the patient to take it. Maybe I should try to concoct some special pills? Pills and decoctions were the same. They were both medicine, but the former was more convenient to carry and store. Wang Yao also had the relevant knowledge on how to make pills in his mind, but he had never tried it. Why not give it a try? Once this idea came up, it was like a weed on fire. It burned crazily and could not be suppressed. Let's give it a try. But what medicine should I prepare? Most of the prescriptions he could think of now were decoctions. There were almost no pills or ointments. I want to decide which prescription to use, then choose the herbs and make the pills. Wang Yao set the steps. He wanted to convert the knowledge in his mind into practical products as soon as possible so that it would be convenient to use in the future. Just as he was thinking about which prescription to use to make pills, his phone rang. He picked it up and saw that it was Tong Wei calling. "Hello, Tong Wei. What are you busy with?" "I'm thinking about something." The two of them chatted over the phone. There were no mushy words of love. It was a very direct greeting and concern. "Are you busy over there? Are you tired from work? Are you still on a hill?" Just like this, just like life, it was more peaceful. "Thank you for the medicine you sent to my mother. Auntie used it. How was the effect?" "Very good. She slept well at night. Her body didn't feel so tired, and she was much more energetic." "When did you learn this ability?" "Last year." "Who did you learn from?" "The gods in heaven taught me wonderful methods," Wang Yao said. "Huh." Tong Wei's laughter came from the other end of the phone. "When will you come back?" "I have to wait until next month. I've used up all my holidays this month." "Why do you miss me?" "Okay, come to Dao then. I'll check the time." The two of them chatted for a long time before hanging up the phone. After a long time, Wang Yao said, "Well, this seems to be a good feeling." When he returned home for dinner in the evening, Wang Yao's mother asked about Tong Wei again. "Have you contacted Tong Wei recently?" "I called her this afternoon." "She won't come back this week?" "Yes, she won't come back this month. She's used up all her holidays this month in advance." "Then you should go. You're always on Nanshan Hill. There's nothing serious to do," Zhang Xiaoying said. "Mom, I'm doing serious things." Wang Yao couldn't help but say, whether or not planting medicinal herbs was proper business, whether or not decocting medicine was proper business, whether or not treating illnesses and saving people was proper business, these were all proper business. Well, in my eyes, the most important thing is to quickly find a daughter-in-law for me. I don't want anyone else. I only want Tong Wei. Why does it sound like you reserved her? Don't talk nonsense with me. Hold on tight. That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.